Waiting for the stream to go live. Well, it should be live already. There we are. Now the stream is live. Hello, everyone. It's Marshall here, International Kriegsspiel Society, with another battle today. We have Russians versus French in Russia. I am wearing my really cool striped shirt, which I didn't think about when I put it on this morning, but it will create a cool little weird effect in the webcam. I'll probably turn it off so I don't craze people out or whatever. But anyway, yes, we have a 15-state Kriegsspiel battle. We have the Russians coming in on the north. We have the French coming in from the south. And we have two bridge crossings that have to be captured and held by both sides. Now you're saying, wait a minute, this map looks a little weird. You're right, it is. It's not a period map. It is a World War II period map, or at least it's made to look like it. I don't even know where it comes from. But what I do know is it certainly works for our purposes, so we're going to be using it. And again, this is a Napoleonic battle, the French versus the Russians. Both are trying to take a pair of bridges across this river, and we will see what's going to happen. All right, let's see here. All
I've
right,
got
Mike.
my orders, Marshall.
Okay, you have the initial orders, and Peter, do you have initial orders already?
I do. I thought you were reprimanding Carter there for a minute, and then I realised you were speaking to the YouTube masters.
Yes,
You will not laugh. You will not cry. You will learn by the numbers. I will teach you.
Well, Carter was saying something derogatory about the map. He was saying, we will use this map, and you'll like it.
This is a good map.
You just don't have the ability to appreciate this map, Carter. No, sir.
All right. Anyway, any map will do. So let's go ahead and advance to contact. So for the French, that's probably going to be right when they emerge here from the woods. So
Okay.
we need to figure how much time and space that is. But when they come out of there, they'll see the Russians
Well, so
at a
we're
distance.
moving, yeah. If we're just taking the regular movement values we work with, then it would probably be 1 grid per turn because we're dividing the turn into 4.
Right, exactly. So
So
just count grids. So if we were to start down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 grids. I got 13 grids. So
8, 9, sorry, 10, 11, 12.
Is the fight on yet?
13
it's
to
just
here.
now starting. Eli, how you doing?
Let me write that
I'm
down.
doing good, man.
13 to there. And then if we go from 10, okay, 11, 12, 13,
Put some there.
14. So it's 14 grids to there.
Yeah, but they're getting 13, so they're not quite
Yep.
there yet. So go ahead and move the pieces up.
All right.
And then we will tell both sides that there is some kind of contact. The Russians almost kind of advanced so far as to avoid contact. Like they are pretty close to their objective.
Dang, uncontested objective.
Right? Well,
sounds like something.
I mean, this is the Russians in Russia, so it makes sense.
It sounds like
yeah.
something that Grau would do, and then he waits until you take the objective and gets you in the right position, then he just destroys you.
That makes sense to me.
Right.
He will not show mercy, but he will do no evil.
What's funny is that there won't be contact here because the brigade that is marching down there that would take 13 grids, I miscounted. It would take a lot longer than that. See, because they're only here now.
Oh man, so Russians beat them. The Russians ain't to the objective yet, huh?
No, but neither are the
So
French. So.
I can go 3 more squares. Is that correct? To make
Yeah,
it to
3
make it
more.
16.
Well, only as far as this line. The problem is, Peter, once they reach this line,
Oh.
they would see the Russians in a distance. They see the column.
Oh, they see
Oh,
him on the
okay.
hill. Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
that need
So it
unless
doesn't
we
matter.
because this hill height is 187, and I don't see anything. I see 179, so we could tell them they see dust or
Uh-huh.
something, some sort of
Okay.
indistinct evidence that there is a large force moving. That's what I would report to them. Just report to both sides. Well, report to the French only that they see dust. I don't know how far away we've got. Oh shoot, this is 1,000 meters. I only measure in freedom units. I don't know what a meter is. Uh, is that a
just
kilometer? A
just think
thousand?
just think freedom units, and it'll be close enough.
Right.
Um,
So it looks like one of these squares is a kilometer, right?
I
One,
think
two,
I got.
three,
Uh,
three and a
yeah.
half kilometers. So that's what
Damn, are you
two,
guys doing?
two and a half freedom miles? No, no.
No.
Yeah.
I. We'll call them freedom fries.
Right.
I got like 3
Do I need
bald
to,
eagles. I think. No.
Okay.
are we going
Um.
to need a degree in mathematics to play this game?
All right. So
You
in all
should, you should,
seriousness, that would be. Well, I mean, like, so it's a 5K is like what? What? It's 3 kilometers to a
5,000.
mile, right?
Yeah.
So it would be
No.
about a mile away, right?
I don't think it's 3 kilometers to a mile.
No,
Like,
it's less than that
is it?
because
Okay.
Yeah, a kilometer
yeah,
is like 2/3 of a mile, isn't it?
so
Okay.
so like a good rule of thumb
Oh,
is
yeah.
that you're always going to have more yards than you will meters.
So if they're 3 kilometers away, it's 1.86 miles.
Okay, 1.86 miles.
Though the Russians are kind of like, well, no, they're kind of marching along the crest of the ridge there, so they wouldn't be obscured by anything, but they'd still see the dust anyway. Disregard any of what I just said.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and delete the lines that I've got.
Yeah.
In fact,
I can't really
delete all
roll.
the lines.
I can't really role play with all these numbers, can I? You see dust kicking up near 173.2.
Okay, so
The
they're
French
at
engineers really have mapped this thing out pretty well.
so if an alligator is 6 feet long, they're around 550 alligators distance. Okay, so I understand that.
Okay.
I can
Alright.
role play
Yeah.
that.
I can
Yeah.
work with that.
Yeah, as an American,
Yeah.
we'll measure in anything except the metric system.
Maybe should I just use that as the method of telling them how
Like, as
fast
the
something
bald
is?
eagle flies, it's about 600 alligators distant.
There you-
What do you want to
One thing I do use the metric system for though
I'm gonna get some screenshots for my players.
Okay,
is
perfect.
one thing that's really good to use a metric system for because the imperial equivalent is a pain in the ass to use is long range precision shooting
Hmm.
because meters, the metric system for the math of calculating a firing
Yeah.
solution
It's by tens.
is all decimals
Yeah.
and it's easier. But if I were trying to use the imperial equivalent of minutes of angle, it turns into a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'd have to end up converting minutes of angle to
Oh, God.
meters
What time
anyway,
is it?
or like
Oh,
milliradians.
do? There you go. It's 6:45.
6:45.
Okay.
There-
So
I
let's.
don't know.
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's
fine.
well, so if we started at 0600, right? Like
And we
normally
went
do.
13 5-minute periods. So 5 times 13, right?
God, I can't do that math.
There you go.
That's an hour and 5
65.
minutes.
Yeah, so it'd
That's
be
65.
0705. Okay.
So it's 7:05. Okay. We do need like a little clock that we can set.
Wait, is this a World War II scenario?
No,
No.
it's Napoleonic on a World War II map.
Okay. Well, I'm just kind of thinking about it going, wait, 5-minute turns?
Yes, yes,
You're
it's
like,
a
oh man, why didn't I get in on this?
new system where supplies really matter. Okay,
Oh,
let's let
yeah.
the French know that they see dust about a mile and a half to their north. Whatever.
Or 600 crocodiles,
That's right.
whichever's easier for
That's
them
right.
to understand.
Yeah, if they're
Okay.
Americans, give it to them in something else besides the metric system, please.
Because they just won't know what the metric system means. But 600 alligators, I got that zeroed. I know
You're
exactly
right.
what that means.
Well, I mean, if you
Like if I tackle that alligator, right, and like there's 600 of them. Yeah, okay, all right, I got it.
got it, we're set, man. We got to figure it out.
I'll let you know what they say.
All right.
I hope he says it just like that too. 600 alligators. That'd be funny. I'd be just analytical enough to go, oh, so that's about 1,200 meters. Okay, got it.
All right.
All right. I'm
And
gonna
so,
go.
are there any? The Russians wouldn't really know anything, so they probably won't change their orders.
Yeah, I'm gonna just ask them to see if their orders are the same, and then
Yeah, no
pretty much.
problem. Yeah.
Have you ever heard, Marshall, the legend of the Grau?
No, I have not.
I feel like that's what my nickname's gonna end up being. Oh, look, it's the fucking Grau.
Yeah, it's the Grow. Yeah, no, that's really cool. I loved your message in the campaign. The prisoners will not be released.
Yeah, oh, you got that, did you?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
just a flat statement like no.
Yep. Just a no. And that was fine. And I was like, oh, okay. That was actually a relief to me because
Wow.
because Sam, I don't know what Sam's gonna do. He's gone renegade. You
I don't
know.
know. Yeah, I mean that confused the hell out of me because I got a message from him. He goes, "So I'm gonna go attack the supply line," and he just deuces the fuck out. I'm like, "What? Why? What?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. No,
You fool!"
he was our MVP. He caused the duchy to switch allegiance to us because he
Yeah, I'm
burned
like,
their port. So
God damn it, man.
yeah. No, he's the real MVP, and now we're fixing to bag him. So
Oh yeah,
he's in.
you guys had troops on the way. Well, when he left, it's kind of like what I put in the text channel. When he left, I was like, okay, he's fucked. There's nothing I can do.
Yeah, he is. He is pretty much toast. So
Oh, and he's done. We basically have 2 corps now.
yep, yep.
Well, at
So,
least it actually worked out that he burned out the bridge at Saint Corinne, because what it means is that I was able to save one of his divisions,
mm-hmm.
because Carter had sent one of Sam's divisions ahead as the vanguard,
Mm-hmm.
and he basically stayed with me for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Well, don't tell me too much. We still have units in motion, both sides, I think.
I thought they
So
ended the campaign.
no, it's not over. Over. They kind of want to determine the fate of Sam and his division. So
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah, see,
they're
I was
still
under the
running the
impression the
clock.
whole thing. Yeah, I was under the impression the whole thing was over. But as far as everybody else, our involvement's done then.
For the most part, yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. But then we're starting the Diplo campaign, the
Mm-hmm.
diplomatic one, next week or so, the week after.
Yep.
But they want to resolve what's happening with this renegade division to help determine or set up the diplomatic campaign.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna have a bearing, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah,
Damn. Well, at least the South Duchy is still on good terms with Blau.
yes. And
It's
the
like, hey, man, like,
yeah. The Southern Duchy is reliant on the Blaureich for food imports, and the Blaureich gets gold and silver and coal from the Southern Duchy. But then the troops are, because you guys are rich in money, the troops are of exceptional quality as well as your mercenaries.
I'm ready to go.
So
Wow.
look at the difference between the Greens' level of complexity and the Blues' one.
yeah, I'm noticing
Right
this.
into the town, and then we don't know what we're gonna do.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and advance the clock to what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more spaces.
Okay. All
So
right.
let's advance
So
everyone 6 more and then see what they see.
2,
Well, I'm gonna
4,
do your thing. I got some work to do.
6.
All right. We'll see you soon, Eli. Hang in there. Thank
All
you.
right, guys. Talk to you
See you
later.
later.
And while they're making these moves, in case anybody was wondering what the heck Eli and I were talking about, we're talking about the fictional Red versus Blue Napoleonic campaign that we have been playing in the International Kriegsspiel Society. Basically, it's kind of like the Napoleonic Wars, is sort of like the template, but the nations and such are fictional, and each person has their own nation or their own. Well, I have a nation, but um, really, people have corps and divisions. We have corps and division commanders, and the movements on the strategic map then determine what battles are fought and by whom. So it's a lot of fun, and we're going to be doing another campaign. Plus, Carter has a campaign of his own that's
Oh
about
yeah.
to kick off in a few weeks. First, you have Antietam, though, right? That's in a week.
Yep. We're gonna be refighting the bloodiest day in American history. Should be a good time.
And
Uh,
do you have slots open? So if any of our viewers want to join,
do I have slots open? Oh my goodness. I have like armies open.
do you really?
So no, I've got all the corps commanders filled,
Uh-huh.
but I need a bunch of division commanders. I need in the range of like a dozen in order to make this thing hitch off, and that's not even including umpires. So please.
Hmm.
But like I'm not begging, but I'm also begging. Like please. um
And so this is Saturday, right? The
yeah.
17th.
The
Oh,
not the 17th, the 20th, I think.
yeah, unfortunately I'll be gone. Uh,
Darn.
yeah, no, I have to be gone. I'll be in Los Angeles, but
Well, that should be fun anyway.
no, it's a memorial service, unfortunately. So no,
Oh, okay.
yeah, we're not looking forward to it, but we gotta go because it's a
Yeah.
big deal. So,
Mm-hmm.
Have
um,
I cut the Blues short on the movement side of things? Because it
maybe,
looks like
but
you guys are moving.
maybe it did, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, hey, they're getting into
Mhm.
town. They're finding houses with sausages and eggs and live
Mhm.
chickens and pigs and
I guess they're getting the orders from the back of the line. That's the
yeah,
thing, isn't it? It just takes time to
yeah,
get. You know, someone always wants pineapple on the pizza. You know.
right, right.
I think these well no, our grades aren't. Never mind. I'm not even gonna mention that.
Oh,
I'm moving by grid, like I'm measuring it out on the map.
and
Maybe
I,
that's why.
and then our grid is kind of wonky
Maybe.
and it's
I,
really
I was
faint,
just freeforming.
but our grid it looks like it's pretty close.
It's close, but like I
Not the
think that
same.
we should measure it based on our grid because um, we
Well,
already have the movement values all worked out for that.
then we might need to make our grid a little darker. Excuse me, it's a little hard to see the grid.
I mean, I just use the measuring tool, but
Yeah, well, okay. Um, do we think there's any reason for any side to change orders right now? Like, do they see anything? Like the Russians might. I don't know.
I mean, the Russians would probably
I'm trying
see
to.
this.
You think so?
They'd
Through all
probably get a
the.
dust cloud report. I mean,
Okay, yeah, give them that much. Give them a dust cloud report, but don't tell them anything specific. But it's
right.
pretty close. Maybe they even hear the sound of men singing or marching. I don't know. It's
Uh
looks
huh.
like Well, it's about 2 kilometers away.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's far or if it's like my next door neighbor, but
Mhm.
um, I would assume they probably wouldn't hear sound so much as see the dust for sure. So give them a
Yeah.
dust cloud report, and we'll call it good.
Okay. Ooh,
What?
we've got our first dispatch. Woohoo. Um. Oh God, why am I? Yeah, is that O? Okay. So if we advance 6 from 0705, it would be
15?
35. Oh seven
Yeah.
35.
Oh, okay. So just so I'm aware, we're going by these squares within the larger squares, aren't we?
Yeah,
Oh shoot! I just sent a screenshot with my lines included.
that's
I've
okay. Our squares are the bigger ones. Our squares are a little
Oh, okay.
larger. Yeah.
So they could see 4 of those.
just use the if you hit tab and like measure it out, just it'll tell you how many grids. Um, it'll tell you how many pancakes per bald eagle you got to move.
Yes.
Um,
You're not on their side. You're just umpires. Don't have to mess me about. I haven't got a clue. Anyway,
okay.
it is what it is. I'm going to show them uh, 4 little squares.
All right.
And Heinz, I think you're there. The Maritime Division is worth the core. Absolutely. Good to see you. Welcome to the live stream. And hello to everybody watching the live stream. If you're watching the live stream, feel free to say hello. Feel free to ask questions, offer commentary, pontificate, tell us what they're doing wrong and what you would do differently. Any of that is welcome.
What
Absolutely
time
have
is
your
it,
say.
Carter?
I
It,
just imagine the chat being like the old men in the Muppets. You know, it's like you know,
well,
look
that's
at them doing
okay.
that stupid. Yeah,
um,
Is it
that's
it's
me.
pretty great.
7:35? Is that correct?
Yep.
7:35. So we've moved. Okay. Yep. All right. Let
Because
me.
if we've moved 6 grids, then
Yep.
that's another 30 minutes.
Because I'm only really showing, again, I'm just confirming, I'm only really showing 4 of the smaller squares.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
fine. It's fine. We're
yeah.
not
Yeah?
gonna. Yeah, we're not going to. This isn't miniatures. It's
Yeah.
it's approximate, and that's gonna be good enough. There's all kinds of
Right.
reasons why. In fact, they just came up a hill anyway. Now they're on the downside of that hill, the head of that French column. So, okay, let's go ahead. And did we give the Russians their dust cloud report? Carter? Maybe Carter's gone.
He's gone. He's gone already.
Good.
He's given his dust cloud report now, and I'm going to give my dust cloud report now as well.
That's fine.
So,
Thanks, guys. Okay.
okay.
All right. Yes, viewers, we are spending a lot of time making chit chat and moving things. We should be moving faster than what we are. Maybe I need to pay attention to that. That's how easy it is as a lead umpire to get kind of sidetracked and ignore what you're supposed to be doing that's important, which is keeping the game moving. And with Carter and Peter potentially having to leave here and there, we need to make what progress we can while I have them. So, reminder to me. And again, hello everyone. We have the Russians versus the French in the Napoleonic Wars. Both are trying to secure a pair of bridges. It looks like the Russians have secured the bridge closest to them already. Now the fight will be on for the next bridge. I understand that the map looks a little modern. That's because it is a little more modern, but it's perfect for fighting a Kriegsspiel. So that's what we're doing. We are using what I call the 15-state system, which is a quasi-new Kriegsspiel system where the turns move in 5-minute increments instead of 15, and we keep track of supplies, and the supplies are tracked on the units themselves. And then there's supply wagons or supply trains, which can resupply those units. And so the supply situation matters because you have to manage your supplies. If you run low on supplies, or if you run out, you'll have to stop and resupply, which can affect the momentum of an attack. So you need more teamwork and coordination. If you want to keep an attack going, let's say, you have to rotate the units. And you have to have another unit maybe take over from you, whatever, because you will burn through the ammunition otherwise and run out. So that's a real world problem, and that's why we have it here. We want them to grapple with some real world problems. Let's check our OBS. Hey, here I am with my weird shirt. I think I said I'd turn that off, huh? Let you see more of the map. Let's do that. There we go. More pleasant view, yeah?
Alrighty, I have returned.
Okay. And we're just waiting on Peter.
Perfect.
And it
As
looks like we'll have combat here pretty soon.
Yeah.
These hillsides are quite steep around here as well.
yeah, those are that's quite a lot of inclination or declination. I don't know.
Yeah. Mm.
Because, well, let's see if I can. Is each one of those a 1 meter drop? No, it's probably like a 10 meter drop, right? Or well,
No, it's not a round number. Let me look here. 55 to. I
probably like
don't
a
know.
2 meter drop or something. I know that the American convention is like 10 feet or whatever.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
seems
because
that.
this is like 149 and that's 134.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that is, 1, 2, 3, 4 ish. So like, it's probably like a 2 or 3 meter drop per.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Got
see. I think we can probably move what 1, 2. I think we could move another 10
1,
minutes, 2 squares.
2. If we move 2, they'd get there. And if we move 2, they'd probably start setting up on that ridge. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Sounds reasonable.
second division was hoping to get to 185 Hill, but obviously that's not gonna.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Mm.
Yep.
But
Okay.
they would see the Russians setting up on it, I suppose.
At around when they get to the river, probably.
Well, or before that when they're right around here coming out of the
True.
village. If they
Yep.
go too low, they won't see what's on top of the hill.
True.
Okay.
But
So
they
let's
So he'll
figure
will.
get
that
to
out.
about
So they'll get there
there.
and see something. So that is 1, basically 2. Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll do one. I'll do two for.
All right. And the
That's it.
Russians, since they're
He's
on
going to
the
wait for his.
ridge, are only gonna move. Since they're moving overland, I'm gonna give them like a 1.3 or 1.3 movement, since they're going to lose some of that
Uh
because of the bad terrain, or just not great terrain. Okay, so that's what their column looks like, with Division Commander Edo at the front. And this guy off the road behind those guys. Cool.
Now I've got to make some dinner now, Marshall. So are you okay just to cover the blue base for the moment?
Sure
I've
thing.
got. So, Peter, if you
Yeah.
want to do like a tag team operation here, I was thinking of getting out to get some lunch in 15 minutes. So, if you want to do a. If you want to like tag out and then tag me in once we get
Possibly.
back.
My situation is that as in, I'm looking after someone who I can drop in and out when
Ah,
I'm
okay.
requested. So it's not, I'm not always like that, but I will try. I'll try and
Okay.
do what I've got to do, and then try to make myself available to
Beware,
help
stream.
out.
You might have to see Marshall go full umpire mode.
Right?
We've seen it before.
You never go
Okay.
full umpire.
Right? Okay. So Peter, are you stepping away
Yeah,
now?
I want to
Okay,
step
no
aside
problem.
now if that's all right. Cause I've got to make some food for
Okay,
the lady.
I will let my French players know what they see, and we'll go
Yeah.
from there. Okay, you got it. All right.
Cheers, Marshall. Cheers,
Okay.
Carter. Catch you in a
Cheers.
moment.
I'm sorry, this has just been bothering me. I've got to, I've got to fix the French line.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have to break these guys up soon. If they're turning around, if they're
They're getting a
going.
little too lovey-dovey up there at the front of the column.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, I'm gonna go let them know what's going on.
Thinking we could. Oh, hey.
Hello, gentlemen. Okay, your umpire's on a bit of a break. I want to let you know, and this is probably the last communication I'm gonna allow you. You guys are gonna get broken up
Okay.
because you're getting pretty far apart. But Second Division C's on top of Hill 185 to your front. You know what I mean by that?
Yep, I
Okay.
got where you are.
You see
Yeah.
that there are Russian troops in that area on that hill. You don't know the number, you don't know the concentration, you don't have details, but it is pretty clear that there appears to be enemy troops on top of that hill. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so that's your report. So you have to decide what you want to do with that information. I'll be back in a few minutes to get your orders. If there are
Yep.
any changes, there might not be. It's up to you guys. Okay?
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna just. Sorry.
Okay. So,
All right. They've got their report. They'll have to figure out what they want to do with themselves. And I think Carter might be talking to the Russians and letting them know what they see. So both sides will be figuring out what to do. Now, in any Kriegsspiel, when you get to this turn, there's always this turn where the two sides see each other and they convert from their road column movement to a tactical stance where they're like, okay, there's the enemy, here's his roughly his position, let's go ahead and deploy. And in every Kriegsspiel game, that tends to be a long turn because the players on both sides change all their orders all at once, and then they can get very particular with where they want things to be. So everything suddenly moves. So it's very simple to move a column down a road. It's another thing, however, to have to take that column and then deploy it into lines according to somebody's specifications. And of course, that doesn't always go smoothly either for a variety of reasons, right? Maybe they're unclear, whatever it may be. But yes, we do. We have to get that sorted out. So this turn tends to take longer than most turns. But then once it's done, then the fighting starts, and that's when it gets really exciting. Personally, though, for me, I enjoy the march to contact even more than the fighting, but that's just me.
I've got my orders.
Okay.
So as you can see, oh wait, no, I need to. Oops.
I have to go down and get the French orders real quick. Okay, gentlemen, what are your orders?
All right. So the second division, or yeah, my unit up here at the front, are to continue moving forward, and cross this little creek between us and the enemy, and then begin to form up into line.
Just across the creek?
Yep.
Okay, keep in mind that's low ground. The enemy will be on high ground above you.
They're going to be on high ground no matter what I do, so I want to be across that creek.
Okay, so that's second division. What about first division?
All right, first division is going to basically go up the street, past these two crossroads, and then take a right. And we're going to cross the bridge and go up to Riv Babka as far as we can. The idea is that once we get there, we're going to start shelling the enemy from across the creek.
Okay. Alright, let me draw that out.
Okay.
And there we are. Okay, got it. Alright, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Let's do this.
yeah, second division is just going to move here over 10 minutes and then deploy.
Okay, so 10 minutes. That puts them like here.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus these guys are gonna get like 5 minutes movement, so they're gonna get like here with the supply coming up behind them. Then 10 minutes over this ground puts these guys like there. Okay. And these guys right there.
Alright, we're just going to move that up like that. Okay. Alrighty.
That's the Russians.
Okay, so I think we can move another 5. So
Okay.
that would put this artillery will go online here.
Okay.
Okay, and he will. I imagine I'm just going to park the artillery in the middle, and we'll begin coming online. And then these guys finally catch up and make the turn. And here we are. Okay. There we are. So that's 15 minutes of movement. So we were at what, 7:35 last time?
Mm-hmm.
So that puts us at 750.
Or sorry, 745. So we're at 0800.
Oh, okay.
Um,
No. Okay, 0800 then it is. All right.
call me Doctor Strange. I am the Time Lord. Let's see.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Just gonna delete my lines. Mind if I delete your lines?
No, that's fine.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's go ahead and give them all reports, and then we will.
Should red? Well, this guy's on the other side of a ridge, so he can't see that. Um, but should our other Russian commander get a report of dust clouds in the town?
Oh yeah, for
As
sure.
well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, gentlemen, it is time to split you up. So
Okay.
first should go to blue 1, which they're there, and second should go to blue 2. All right. Okay, we got it. Okay, can you hear me?
All right.
Are we good?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was Bluetooth for a second.
No, it's okay. Okay, so your units have just caught up to you and they're beginning to turn off the road in the village. So I'm assuming there's no change in orders in your case, but you will be making that move. It will take you about 30 minutes to get through the town and to the objective at the bridge.
All
Okay?
right. Yeah.
All
I
right.
have no changes in orders. Is there any updates in information?
Not yet. No. There will be soon.
Okay.
Okay,
That sounds good to me. Thank you.
you got it. Okay, sir, I'm going to share my screen with you so that you can see what I want you to see. Go ahead and have a look.
All right. Perfect. If I could have my supply wagons wait on the other side of the river as well as this turn plays out. Just
What do you mean on the other side of the river?
or on the other side of the creek.
On your side with you.
No, on the side that isn't with me.
Okay, so you want to keep your supply wagons on the opposite side of the creek.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. They're still behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your artillery's going to go into action. I parked them in the middle of your line. If you want them somewhere
That's
else.
perfectly fine. That is. Thank you, Marshal.
Okay, all right. So your
That-
infantry's going to go online with two battalions on each side of the artillery.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Rock and roll.
That's the idea.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see here. I don't know that there's quite a target yet, but there will be really soon. Probably at the end of this turn. So when Carter gets back, we'll move in a 5-minute increments. Okay, we're still waiting on the umpire to come back.
I am back with orders.
Okay, what do you have here?
So he's quick marching to this position here,
Yeah.
third, and
Okay.
he's setting up a line here as these guys are moving towards there. Meanwhile, he's going to move over here to get a better look, and that
Oh.
was about 3 grids. So that's about what the approximated movement would be.
Yep. Okay.
So
All
he can
right.
do that. Do that at the end of it.
Okay. So let's go ahead and move 5 minutes.
Okay.
Do 5 minutes of movement.
5
So-
minutes.
So that's going to put these guys online here, and these guys online here. And that artillery is already set up and situated, so they're going to go directly into action. And we'll probably target this lead infantry
I'm
unit.
not sure if that artillery can shoot up that angle. I mean, that is very steep. That's not like the. It kind of like you see how the hill's like very steep and then it goes shallow and
All
then
right, well
shallower and
let's do
shallower.
the math. Let's say each one of these is what, 3?
Mhm.
1, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 23,
I suppose my
26.
concern is that the angle, like of the slope, is greater here than it is over this distance, which means that the ground would actually block the shot. In
Okay.
fact, probably block the view.
Okay.
That's what I'd say anyway.
Okay. All right, then we'll deny the artillery shot. And okay, and now they could theoretically fire, the infantry could, but they're a little bit, the range is a little great.
Uh-huh. By the way, these guys are quick marching. I don't know what we want to do about that in terms of penalties.
1.5 times, and then yeah, give them a disrupt.
Okay.
Okay, and then
And they disrupt from what exactly?
from running.
From red, like, or what
Oh,
what's
just
level of disruption?
the first. I would give them the first kind of for free, but then on the next turn, take them down a level, and then they'll have to
Okay.
rest for a turn to recover it all. That's all. The recovery is also very quick.
But like also, what level are they? Do they start at? Is what I'm asking, really.
Oh yeah, they start at red. At
Okay,
3
cool.
stars. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So they won't be disrupted now, but next turn.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So let's go ahead and I probably need to give Cyrus a report here on the difficulty he's having. Both sides need to know that they're kind of at long range and they have a little bit of intervening terrain that's making it hard to see and shoot the enemy. So
Okay.
I'll go report that. Okay. And then we'll move another 5. I need to move this guy. Haven't moved him. Haven't moved Alex. Let's move him. Okay. There we go. All right. We got it. Okay. I'll let him know. I'll go give an update. And okay, here we go. Okay, I'll be back.
Cool.
Okay, Alex. Let's see. You continue to move through the village. No other updates as of yet, but you're moving.
Okay, so I'm not to the bridge yet, just moving through the village.
Right.
All right, am I at the bridge?
No, you're at the head of your column with your division, which is where you should be.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, you're good.
Gotcha. I'm just trying to predict where the tip of the column is and where the back part of the column is. Okay,
You're at that
I got it.
first. You're at that first turn in the village. You're gonna turn north to go up that first road there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Uh-huh. Hey, Cyrus. Okay. Okay.
Hola.
So the artillery cannot fire because of the angle. The elevation is too great. Plus, there's a little bit of intervening terrain right to your front.
Yeah.
So the hill to your front is a little steep, and then it kind of gradually levels out above you. But there's about like
Yep.
26-foot difference. So this is a difficult spot for you to fight from. The enemy is coming online above you. Now they have some challenges as well, but maybe a little more surmountable than yours. So your units are still coming online. Do you wish to give any orders?
Are we still kind of in the same position I was last you checked in?
Yes, except now you have 2 battalions online with your guns, which the guns can't fire up that hill, up that angle.
Yeah.
And then your final 2 battalions will be online in the next turn. So you'll have your whole brigade online as of next turn, unless you move.
I would like to if I still have 2 brigades coming into the line, if I could shift them to the right to kind of start to move the brigade more towards where it says Peshkano Peshkanoya.
Okay, so where do you
And
want them in relation to that landmark?
uh still beneath it, but like there's this little kind of like divot in the there's this little divot in the elevation, and just beneath where it says Peshkinonia, like kind of like in that square at the very edge of square left 5 top 7.
Okay,
That makes sense.
okay. I'm not sure if it does to me. Let me see. This is not broken up like that. Top 7. Okay, 5, left 5, 5, 7. Okay, I think I have it. 5, 7, grid 5, 7.
Yeah.
Okay,
Again, that should be right beneath where it says Peshkinonia.
okay, we can do that. Okay, you got it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Mm-hmm. Okay, Cyrus, of course, is on some pretty dangerous ground. And he's trying to kind of move around, and I don't think he knows that the Russians are coming on his other flank. So it's going to be a tough one for the French. All right, come on, Carter, come back. Let's get these orders processed. So he wants to move over, so he would start moving them, about there.
Okay. Um,
All right, so yeah, I've moved everything for the next turn. He's just shifting over to the red line. You probably see that.
yep. Okay. So we're just doing another 5 minutes.
Yeah, just another 5.
Okay. And this will be the last phase I can do before I have to go for a second.
Okay.
For probably about another
Well, and I am
30
back.
minutes. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's perfect timing then.
Okay.
This artillery is going to deploy, and Edo's going to move back here.
Okay. And then are you coming back, Carter, after you leave?
Yeah, probably. It'll
Okay.
just be like 45 minutes to an hour
Okay.
before I get back.
Okay.
So,
No problem.
okay, so they're going to be like there.
Takes 15 minutes to get down to 5 guys. Get his double burger
Right.
and potato wedges.
Can I get a double
chicken
with
wings.
fries, please?
Yeah.
I'd like one number 9, a number 9 large. Let's.
You don't
Yeah,
have
so
that.
one thing that I just want to let you know before I leave, though, so I've just moved everyone, is that these guys in the back have been ordered to move and report to Edo from now on. But they won't get that until around 08:45, so I wrote that down. Because the courier has to go all the way around. So
So
at
what?
08:45, they're going to start moving towards Edo's position since they can see him.
Okay.
And they'll
Okay.
just tell him that they're reporting to his command now.
Okay.
And the general orders for Asher are to move like here, set up, and start putting flanking fire into these guys.
Okay. All right. Tough situation for the French.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You got it. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. You got it. Okay. So, Peter, do you want to pick up with the French or take over the Russians? Your choice.
I'll take the Russians because
Okay.
you've got a feel for the blues now. So
Okay. So just so you know, the French are moving to this red line over here to redeploy. They're going to see the Russians on the hill over here.
yeah,
And they also have another column moving through the village. So, which I don't think the Russians are quite aware of, but they should be aware of it in the next turn because he's going to be up here. So, let's go ahead and it is now 8. Let's make it 8:15, and we'll
yep.
just give them their reports and get their new orders.
Okay.
All right, we got it. All right.
Oh, Marshall, I have to ask one question.
Go ahead.
Who is 4 and who is 3
I don't
on the
know.
Russian side?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them.
I will ask. Okay.
Okay. Okay, Cyrus.
Yep.
Okay, so you have begun your movement towards your new line. However, on the hill across the river, you now see Russian troops. So I'm going to share my screen so you will see what I see, or what I want you to see. So there you go. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I got my boys in the right spot. Yeah, just keep the idea is to keep pointing that line. I mean, at the very tip of the line, the very furthest right point of the line should be at the E there.
Okay. Let me get you clarity here. You want it like this, or like this, or how do you want it?
Or I mean, right in between those.
You want it like that.
There you go. Perfect. Right
Okay.
like that.
Got it. Okay. You got it. Okay. Alrighty. Let's go to Alex. Okay, Alex.
Yo.
Your units are moving through the village. But now you see some stuff. Okay, I'm going to share
All
my
right.
screen to show you what you see from your vantage point.
All right, and you can take your time. There's no rush.
Here you go. Well, there is a rush. We got to keep the game moving. But here you go. Do you see my screen share?
Yes, I do. I'm looking at it right now, and
Okay.
yeah. So that's that.
Okay. So yeah,
So
you see there's another column on the hill opposite the river.
yeah. So that's one. Yeah. So far, that looks like one division. Okay. So
Okay.
with that information in mind, and thank you for the information. That's
hmm
good information. Uh, as per the plan, uh, here, the artillery I have, is it horse drawn or is it push?
Well, they're pulled by horses. The men can manipulate the guns a little. It's a full regular battery, probably like 12-pound guns or whatever.
Okay. If that's the case, can they go faster? Like, can they go much faster than the infantry?
They can go a little faster for a short burst. All
A little.
units, yeah, all units can double quick. So yeah, they can
Okay,
go
so
faster. It's just going to be a short
they're
burst.
okay. So it's not going to be anything like super duper fast or anything. Okay. Honestly, I think my guns are better used now. What are the range, by the way? A kilometer?
Um, yeah, technically about oh gosh, like yeah, well, 4 squares is about right for them to become effective. So at 4 squares, they'll throw like 2 dice and take the lesser of the result. At 3, they'll throw 1 die, take the result, and then when they get to 2, they'll throw 2 dice, take the higher result. And I think at close range, it's both of them.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be decisive. I'm going to say my artillery. And when we're going through the town, are we like halfway through?
Yeah, your unit is actually behind you. I probably didn't reflect
Okay.
that, but yeah, the artillery's right behind your position. I didn't move your pieces yet, but I'm doing it
Okay.
now.
I'm trying to think of what square. Like, I went to move the artillery sort of to the north here to the uh basically a part of the creek where they can at least participate in this, you know.
Okay, so
That's the idea.
that creek is on low ground. Any artillery down there is not going to participate in anything.
All right.
That's his problem. That's Cyrus's problem right now. He's on this low ground and he's trying to move up the hill a little bit to a better position.
All right. All right. It looks like I don't have the range nor the slope to be able to participate, so I think I'll just continue on to Riv Babka. Man,
Okay,
honest,
perfect.
yeah,
Okay,
I know I'm gonna regret this, but it's fine.
yeah, you guys are in a bad spot, but anyway. Okay, all right, you got it.
Okay.
Okay, so there we have it. Those are the orders. So let's go ahead and implement orders. We'll put him online like that, even though that's very generous of me. We'll just say they hustled because they are in the face of the enemy. All of this movement's just a little generous on my part. Okay. And then we'll move him another square. Okay. And there we have it. right, we're waiting on Peter to get back with the orders, but I see them. I see them on the map. So he'll have to just kind of move them, and then these units are probably going to go into action almost immediately, in spite of the orders that they want, because they're so close. They're in range now. So. Hey.
Marshall.
Yes, I'm here. We're good to go.
Yeah. Okay. So, Green 4th Artillery is trying to move into a position where it can have effective fire, which
Yep.
I believe that might be
Yep.
the case. And then these three regiments are trying to attack the artillery and the back two lines as they. So that will actually come around. This one here will actually come around
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
And then this other one is in reserve behind it. So
Okay.
something like that.
Okay. I think we go ahead and begin the fighting here.
Okay.
And did these guys move? Did you move them? They have to move.
I haven't moved him yet. So this artillery is just getting into an effective position to fire upon the enemy, which I'm presuming is just pretty much where it is. Would you say it can shoot effectively about there?
He'd probably
What
have
does
to
it
come
mean?
up to like here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I have
And then
such
it's
a hard.
still
It's
just
one. That's basically two squares.
okay.
So he'd throw a
So
die.
he's
He'd throw one black die and get the result.
okay. But he's only just got there, hasn't he? Because we're
Yeah.
doing these one square increments, aren't we? So he's
Yeah.
still on the way to that position
Okay.
there, essentially. And these guys are making their way to their position.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So this is it. So that would be
All 10
8:15. Now
dice.
now we go to 8:20. Okay, so 8:20, and let's go ahead and start the fighting then. So at 8:20 they would
Yeah.
go into line. I guess they'll put them on line even though they are really firing at it. So these units on top, the Russian units will have advantage.
Yeah.
So I figure we'll put them into some kind of an effective firing position and begin.
Okay. I would
So
say possibly this one here might not have got into the actual position because it's kind of come round the back and then in. So maybe these first two will fire, and this one will be in shortly. That would be my recommendation. He's travelled. He's travelled a little bit further.
okay, we need to get some dice. So
Okay.
let's pull out a dice roller or something if I can find one.
Get some disruption markers ready, because we might get some.
Yeah. Let's see here. There we go. That's the D10 board. Games. I need the D8 board though. D8. No.
Oh, we haven't. Oh, they are there.
Let me. Let's see here. Saved objects. I probably have it here. Here we go.
They're down in the far bottom corner.
There we go. I got I
Marshall.
I got dice. Oh, there. Oh, they are there. Oh, I missed them.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll bring all these.
Okay,
I'll
perfect.
bring all these over.
Okay,
And leave them
so
on side.
so what we're gonna do is we'll begin firing from the right. Um, and let's begin with the oh, we need black for the artillery.
I'll get the black. You can start the other bits and I'll get the black bus.
Okay, so let's copy. Okay, these two units are going to fire on the artillery unit because it is closest to them. It is on the flank. And they just throw a
Gotta
disruption
go
hit.
1 second. Being called. Do apologise, Marshall.
No worries. I'll roll these as needed. Okay. So they've inflicted some disruption. Let's take this black die and let's roll it. And he will also fire on the artillery. And he has taken a little bit more disruption. Okay. Now, this unit will fire on this one, and this one will fire on this one. We'll roll both of these. And we have a hit on this unit here. So he will take a level of disruption, and he will also take a hit. So he goes down a state. Okay, all of these units have fired, so they're going to be reduced by 1 ammo state, meaning they have all spent 1 pip of their ammunition. Okay, and now we need to fire these. So he'll fire counter battery as well, and he gets the advantage result if it's rolled. And it is not, but he does get the disrupt result. So we haven't quite figured out exactly what disruption is in the system for the artillery, but we apply it anyway, even though it doesn't seem to affect anything. We have to work that out in terms of the new system. These two units will then fire on these two units respectively. Both of them are in action, so and we have a disruption here. So we'll copy that and we'll drop it on him here, and then this unit will reduce a state. No, it needs to go to, there we go. There we go. And this artillery also was reduced 1 state. Okay, and then we'll move these units a little more. And I don't think Peter's back, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and give the French their update. And so the simple thing is the French gave better than they got to the Russians, even though the French are at a disadvantage. And it's just
Alright,
kind of,
Marshall.
so there you go. Okay, so both sides opened up on each other, and the French have more weapons firing, which is why they did better. These two infantry units and this artillery unit all fired on the Russian artillery and inflicted disruption, but no losses of guns. They just injured some men. These two leftmost battalions fired on the two leftmost Russian battalions over here, and they inflicted one hit on one of the Russian battalions. Otherwise, nothing else. And of course, the French have suffered a couple disruption hits. Okay, so I've moved everything. I have not moved the. Here's the Russians. Will move a little more.
Oh, that's in the next turn, I believe. Is that,
Well,
we got to do the next.
we did where we. Yeah, we're on that turn now. So this is
Okay.
it. This is 8:20. So now we'll be going to the 8:25 turn. But I have to give everybody reports. So if you want to deliver a
Okay.
report to the Russians,
Aye.
I will deliver the French report and get their new orders, and then we'll process the 8:25 turn.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Alex.
What's up?
Okay, so you are about 10 minutes away from the bridge, and you see that there is a Russian unit that is just a little closer to it than you are on the opposite bank. So it's likely they'll get there first, all things being equal. That unit is smaller than yours. It appears to only be about half the size of yours, but it is approaching that bridge.
All right.
Any
Well,
changes to your orders?
uh, I'm going to have my artillery set up on my side of the bridge, uh, and yeah, we're going to fire upon them. I'm going to have my infantry in order across the bridge, and I'm simply going to leave it to the brigadier generals at that point to take the other side and halt if they see any more. Yeah, basically the idea is that they should stick together on the other side, and I will direct them once they cross and once we've seen action. We need to drive these guys. Uh, Now that we have numerical superiority uh, with the bayonet, and as long as we have the cannon supporting us, we shouldn't take too many
Okay,
huge casualties.
so your plan of battle is to set up the artillery to support an infantry assault across the bridge, correct?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Uh, Also, I have a message for
Okay.
General Cyrus. Should I post that into Blue One Chrono?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is the message. I've had it there, but yeah, just send that along to him. Oh wait.
You
I
have to.
suppose I'll add update encountered forces uh
He
or
can
no scene
he can see him as well.
update assaulting uh
Okay, that's fine.
rescues
Go ahead.
across bridge.
I'll move that message in a turn or two. Yep. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Perfect.
That's it.
You got it.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. Hello, Cyrus. Are you there? Okay, not hearing from him. We'll have to stand by.
Hold up, hold up,
There
hold
you
up, hold up,
are.
hold
Okay.
up. Sorry, I realized I had my thing on mute. My apologies.
Perfect. All right, so there you are. Okay, so um, the Russians are coming online. Your units have gone online. They have not been able to form exactly the line that you desired. I'll share my screen just for a minute. But you see that?
Not quite. There we go. Yes, I see.
Okay.
Artillery is disrupted, and infantry is disrupted as well.
And one of his infantry blocks took a hit.
Yep.
So you actually gave better than you got. Now, the reason you gave better than you got, even though you're at a disadvantage, is because you have more weapons firing at him than he has at you. That will be changing very soon. So,
On that topic, I would like the infantry to advance a little before firing again.
within melee range, because you guys are fairly close already. So, if you want to
Are we?
start,
Is that Does that make us in melee range?
Yeah, you'll be within a few hundred yards. Yeah, you're probably
Oh.
at about
Yeah,
400
it's
yards distance right now. 4 or 500
200 meters.
yards.
What is that? Is that 15 inches is 1,000 meters? So, holy jumping! That is that. We are very close. Even so, yes, I would still like to. I mean, we are in melee range, but I would like. I've taken, as you said, I've taken a bit better than they've taken a bit better than I've got. So I want to just move up into their face.
Okay. Okay.
Query to you though, because I am on it. Can I see that the other brigade has crossed the bridge?
What other brigade?
The other French brigade.
Yeah, your French units are moving through the town and approaching the bridge behind you. It'll take them another 10 minutes to get there, but they'll be there.
All right.
Okay? All right.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good luck. Uh-huh. Okay. So those orders are to advance, man. Hmm. Just waiting on Peter to get back. And this should be fairly simple for the Russians to figure out, but hello, Peter.
No,
All right. Okay, so what the French want to do is they want to begin advancing. He didn't say charge, but he wants to move closer and fire at much closer range. So
okay.
what that does, it kind of means the green dice would be coming out because they'd be within a square of each other. These guys are going to move up. They're getting pretty close, but they do have their orders. They're going to assault the bridge if they have to with artillery and support.
Yeah.
Okay, so
These guys are just gonna make sure that they're in effective fire. This one's gonna drop back. This one's gonna take its place. I've got sticky fingers.
okay, that will mask the artillery. All right, there we have it. All right, so let's
I've got to remember to move these guys up as well. So they're in. I'm going to change them into column, so they wouldn't be marching up like that, and they're making their way. I think I probably missed the turn with them, so they'll probably be about there. Clear the lines and take the screenshots.
Yep. So yep. Let's throw the
And
dice.
then the shooting as well, isn't it? So,
Okay.
again,
So
while you're doing the shooting, Marshall, I'll just pop away and do my mum's calling me, so
okay. I'll do the firing from both sides then.
I'll let you do all the fun stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This could be a decisive exchange here because they're so close. So this unit will go after the artillery, as will actually both of these. So we're going to roll 4 dice here at the artillery. And we have 3 levels of disruption. So that's going to go ahead and put them at breaking. So they're going to be flipped and they're going to be pulling out. They're going to be in retreat. However, before they do that, they're going to fire 2 black dice at this particular infantry unit here, and they will get both dice results. And they get an advantage hit and a disruption. So this unit will go down a step. It will take a disrupt. Okay. Alright, now all these units have fired, so he's going to go to... Let me flip him real quick. He's going to be at state 3 in terms of ammo, and okay, I think that's fine. He hasn't lost any guns. So, there we are. There we have that. He needs to go down an ammunition state. He needs to go down an ammunition state. Okay. Alright, now it kind of gets ugly in the opposite direction, I think. But first, let's roll these two, and they'll both fire on these 2 units here, respectively, here and here. So, here we are. And this is the French fire. Okay, and we have a hit on this unit. Well, not so much reduce the state yet. We just have a hit on it, which puts him at 5. And then he is going to take a disruption. Okay. This unit, he threw an advantage hit, but these units don't have an advantage, so they don't get it. Now, these 2 units will fire their reply. Okay, and he's going to take an additional level of disruption. Actually, I should be throwing the salmon dice here, and then he's going to take 2 levels of disruption. Okay, and the hit that I threw was on the green die, wasn't it? That's an illegal hit, because I should have been rolling the salmon colored die. So let's restore that block and roll this die to determine what happens to this unit here, and it's just another level of disruption instead. Okay, that's fair. I was cheating a little bit there. Alright, let's see. This unit will fire on this unit, and it's a miss. Okay, so nothing happens there. Alright, so that's the end result there. Let's make sure everybody goes down in ammunition state. Okay, they've all fired. Okay, so now they go down another ammunition state. They go down another ammunition state, and they go down 1. There we go. Okay, so there we have it. Everything is updated. This unit here will go into action, and he is 1, 2, 3. So he will fire 2 dice and take the lesser of the 2 results. Okay, and that's going to be the double disruption. So he is going to throw disruption here, and it's doubled. So
Good.
yep. Yeah, I'm doing great. Okay, I've just rolled the combats. So the Russian artillery was put to flight because they took a lot of fire even though they did not lose any guns. Um, the French units, however, are becoming heavily disrupted by the fire that they are receiving. Their artillery did not fire because it is masked, but that does mean because they didn't move or fire, they will recover their disruption state and they'll have their cohesion back, but they cannot fire from their position. So the Russians still have the advantage overall, and their artillery is firing in on the French flank, which is also having an effect. So
One
other,
thing to note, Marshall, you're
go ahead.
putting the disruptions over in the middle, and it's obscuring
Supply
your
state, yeah,
supply.
yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
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 Maybe because I just kind of know what it is, but yeah, no problem.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. Oh.
no problem. Oh, thank you.
For the YouTubers.
Yes, that's right. They have to see it. Good point. Okay. Okay. I am
Right.
ready to. This is now 8:30.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 8:30. All right, there we have it. 8:30. Okay. I will report to my gentleman.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, Alex. Okay, so you're within sight of the bridge now. You're approaching it. The enemy has
Mhm.
not occupied the bridge. He is on the heights opposite the bridge, but he is still in column, and he is perpendicular to it. So it looks like he's probably going to go in line, and he's going to wait for you to cross before he hits you or something.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Well,
Think on it for a minute, okay? I'll be back.
okay.
Okay. Copy, and I have to go to blue 2. And I have a message for you, Cyrus, in blue 2.
Absolutely. What's up?
It's a dispatch, but in the meantime, your forces open fire on. I'll share the screen. Okay, your troops opened fire on the Russians, and you drove off their artillery battery. The Russians, however, have put a lot of fire on you, and your line is becoming increasingly disrupted.
All right.
So pay attention to that.
I think we're just gonna hold the current position and keep pouring it into them.
Okay, yeah, you guys are all throwing a lot of dice at each other, so. Alrighty.
That's the idea.
Okay, you got it. Thanks.
If I want to send a response, should I send it? Just post one in there.
Yes, that's fine.
All right. Thank you.
Ah. Okay,
All right.
Alex.
So I've made up my mind. So referring to the artillery, what I would like to do is, if I can, what, you know what, with 3 of my 4 infantry brigades, I'd like to send them up north and up that hill of Pescanu or Pescanoe or whatever. Okay, the 4th Infantry Brigade is going to sit basically on the slope just behind the bridge. Okay, I'm gonna try and hide my artillery among them until they get to that small wooded area with 3 houses in it,
Mm-hmm.
a couple squares away from the bridge. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Is it possible to hide my artillery in there?
They're gonna know you. They know you have it.
All right, fine.
It's
Well,
not gonna be hidden.
regardless, all right. I'm going to put my artillery at the edge of that for a little bit of cover, and I'm going to put some infantry at the side. But 1st, 2nd, and 3rd Infantry Brigade, I'm going to send up the hill, crossing that ford area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Pescanu or Pescanoe. Okay, to try and aid my my ally. If
Perfect.
they're gonna wait for me up at top of it, I'm not gonna. I don't have to cross that bridge right now. You know.
Okay.
So yeah, my wagon train. I suppose I'll have wait in the town itself.
Okay, I got it. All right, good.
All right.
Alrighty. Okay, you got it.
Thank you.
Uh, okay.
I am returned.
Hey, welcome back.
So
Okay, you can take over your Russians then, or the Russians, or no, take over the French. I mean, you're the French now. Peter's been doing the Russians,
Okay. All right.
so now you are the French. So,
Oui,
holy
oui.
cow! Now I have to switch your guys' colors again. Whatever, it don't matter. It don't matter. I'll leave them as blue. Whatever. Well, no, we'll make him red. Actually, it should be green. Well, hang on. Okay, so that changes your
I'll just
color to
change my
blue,
color. Oh, or
and then
not.
he becomes green, and there we have it. All right, now,
I feel the French blood flowing through my veins. Oh.
I'm sure you do.
Okay.
Okay, so, uh, okay,
Do I need to go and collect orders, or
no, I have the French orders. We're waiting on the Russian orders.
got it? Gotta say, it looks like the Russians are in a decent spot here.
Yeah, they
Oh wait,
are.
what happened to their cannon?
Oh, yeah, I got driven off. They took fire from 2 battalions,
Hmm.
but it didn't lose. He didn't lose any guns. Just be mindful of the ammo states on these guys because after this round, the French in particular are going to be down to their last 5 minutes of ammunition. So when Peter gets here, I'll go over everything with him. What they want to do. All right, let me check the YouTube. Oh my gosh, there's a ton of commentary on YouTube because I've been so focused on this game. Hello to Achilles. Hello to George. Hello, Plague Harlequin. What's the thing with moving the messages? Players can send messages to each other, and the message traffic is delayed in real time. So we have to calculate how long it takes for a message to move, and then we deliver it on the correct turn. And Achilles is filled in. And yes, it's Fog of War. Yes. Oh, looks like you guys are doing a great job answering the questions. Yeah, it's Napoleonic. The weapons we don't usually track specific weapon types. Like we're not going to say, well, they're Charleville muskets or Brown Bess, but pretty much they are, the standard weapon types of the period. Um, you know, One of the problems with Kriegsspiel, or I should say, the problems with minutia as I call it, is when you start tracking individual things. The more stuff you track or pay attention to, the slower the game becomes. And that's not always desirable, so.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, especially with I haven't been necessarily part of the development team for that, but I would reckon that that's probably one of the major issues that is encountered when you're developing a system for a more modern conflicts, like say World War II, especially when you want to get onto a lower scale of combat, like
Hmm.
what I believe is the idea. You just if you want to take into account that a Tiger tank has longer range than a Sherman, great.
Hmm.
But that's just going to slow and slow and slow the game down. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I think when you're Napoleonic, you can get away with, well, these are smooth bores and that's enough.
Right.
But yeah, if you're gonna have Tigers versus Shermans, you have to pay attention to the fact that the Tiger has the longer range and more ammo, and breaks down easier. You know,
Right.
and there's going to be fewer of them, so you have to take certain things into account to balance the scenario. Even though the scenario doesn't always have to be balanced either.
Mm-hmm.
But you generally, for fun, for the player's benefit, you do want balanced scenarios, so the players have roughly even odds of winning in some way, whatever winning means. Otherwise, the players get kind of burnt, which I
Mm-hmm.
get that. So you have to compensate, and give the players a fair chance at winning. But yeah, the more minutia you track, though, the more things slow down. So I don't know where Peter is. Come on, what the heck are they doing?
Pete.
They may be given some pretty
Oh,
detailed orders.
Peter's back.
There he is.
Yeah. So I'll do this green move, and then you can take over again,
I think the
Carter,
plan
if
is
you
that I'm
wish.
going to be on blue now.
Yeah. We're not
Okay.
gonna. Everybody's accustomed to acclimated to their side, so we're gonna keep it as it is.
Acclimated. I
So
love
okay,
being acclimated.
what are you trying to do with those pieces? Are they advancing?
They advanced to that road there. So
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So
Okay.
what?
We have another turn. The French are just moving up, and then these guys are they're gonna hold here and keep firing. Are the Russians doing anything in particular? Oh, I guess they're.
They're holding, but they're moving up this infantry now, which maybe the French will see.
Okay, so we don't
I'd say
have.
probably not, but because they're on the other side of a ridge.
Yeah, they'll appear pretty soon.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
for sure. But
so I would push them just a little bit, just because they have a flank that they can go for. Otherwise, we just have to roll dice on all this.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so I've been rolling the regular die plus some melee die because they're in melee range. So in this case, they're going to throw a yellow and a green as our. They're going to
Is
throw a yellow and a green. They're
300
going to throw a
paces
yellow and a green.
melee range?
Yeah, within one square, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're going to throw a red and a green. They're going to throw a red and a green. They'll throw a salmon and a green. And they
Right,
will
I've just got to
throw,
step away while they're doing the dice rolls.
and they'll throw one yellow. All right, so that's what they're all gonna throw. Okay.
Okay. You want me to
All
roll
right.
it?
Yep. Go ahead. And the dice in front of the unit is what they are throwing.
Right.
So they throw 2 disruptions on here. So he's gonna go down to 2 disrupt states there. He takes 2 disrupt states, which is
4,
puts him
5.
at
Yep.
5. He gets a well, that's 1 disrupt here, so he'll go to yellow, and then he that's a miss. So this guy gets 1 disruption here.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, he takes 2 disruptions, and he takes nothing.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, now reduce the ammunition states.
So that would mean that they go to
4.
yeah. So I'll put these guys
4.
4, 4.
4.
Oh,
No, they
sorry.
don't.
3.
They don't all go to 4. They all just go
Yeah.
down 1.
Oh, jeez.
So
What's going on? Ah.
So, were they already at 2? These 2 units
They
at
were
2?
already at 2. Yeah. So I put
Okay.
him down to 4, and then this guy's now at 3. So he's got 2 shots left.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's move these dice out of the way. and the braking units now need to brake. And we would assume he would come up. Yep,
Oops,
there we
sorry.
go. No problem. Okay, so there's that. All right. Alrighty. And that's the result.
Did these guys move? I don't think
Yeah,
they moved.
I moved them early. I
Oh,
think
okay.
when you got here, but yeah, they'll be moving next. Oh, we did not fire these two. Roll and take the lower of the two, so it's one more disruption here. So he's
Okay.
down there. All right. Okay. So I think we're pretty close to the second division here, having to bug out.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. One
So
turn of ammo. They're pretty low disruption. If I were the Russians, I'd send them in full send. You know.
yeah, well, but we can't tell them that. They have to
Oh
suss
yeah.
that out for themselves.
Oh yeah.
So let's all right, let's go ahead and give our reports to our respective sides.
Let's delete the
Um,
lines.
Yeah, I'm
and
back.
okay, okay, so things went pretty badly for the French. Both sides broke a unit. The French are down at their last 5 minutes of ammo. They've taken heavy disruption. The Russians not as bad, but they are also getting low on ammo. And there we go. So that artillery keeps firing and scoring some hits. The French unit, 1st Division, his plan is for the artillery to park there, and his first three battalions, are to cross the creek and go to the support of 2nd Division. But I don't know that 2nd Division will still exist by the time he gets there.
So what is the time now?
And then this message needs to be delivered
I think
to,
it's about 8:30.
8:30.
yeah, and then let Blue One know he has a dispatch that's arrived. Okay, okay, and no, it's after 8:30. Now it would be 8:35.
Understood.
Okay, I'll handle the time. So go ahead and let your players know what's going on, and
Yeah.
get any new orders from them. And when you come back here, we'll roll another round of combat and resolve orders. Thanks. All right, there we have it. 8:35 turn now. And all right, let's check the YouTube now. All right. Good to see you guys all here. And yeah, again, at the very top of the chat, I've posted links to stuff that's relevant. Most notably, our website and our Kriegsspiel. I'm sorry, our website and our Discord. But you can check out the links up there. And that's how you come get involved and get in some of these games. And these games are pretty memorable. Like, once you have this experience, you kind of get hooked on it. I think we're going to let the 1st Division see some action, and then after that, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. This is interesting. It looks like the Russians are going to knock out 2nd Division to a pretty good degree. But then the Russians will be mostly spent. Oh, and I have to recover disruption state on this unit here. So he can give him orders again. Um, these, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think it belongs to the Russian team, though. I think the Russians will win it, and I think the reason they're going to win it is geography. I think maybe they were a little closer to their objective, plus the 3rd Russian brigade, technically division on as per the marker, but it's really a brigade. The 3rd Russian brigade double quicked to get to where it had to go, and I think that bought them a little bit of extra time. Yeah, the French wanted to do that, but I'm not too clear on. I know they wanted to move quickly with their cavalry or their artillery, and as I explained to him, all units can move at the double quick, but he did not actually give an order for all units to move at the double quick. So, but that's okay. Uh, I don't think his plans are unreasonable. You think put that artillery into action right there where it is on that infantry. That's a good idea right there. I hope he does that. Yeah, it looks like he's got some good ideas here. But if he doesn't push units across that creek to help his other brigade, that other brigade's gonna crumple. Yeah, second brigade is gonna. Yeah, there we go. He's gonna push across. He's telling Peter what he wants to do here. And the wagon train will hang out in town, no big deal. The 2nd Division needs to know their ammo state is very low. Nice. What you're watching is the master umpire table, or the lead umpire table technically. So you're seeing kind of the God's eye view of everything. That's the best part about being a Kriegsspiel umpire is you get to play God pretty much. Which, who doesn't want to play that, right? And again, we have open Saturday games, which take place every Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So you just have to convert that to your time zone. But 8 a.m. Pacific time every Saturday morning, or maybe it's evening for many of you. But every Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific, there's a game. And come play. And if you play a couple times and then you want to umpire, we'll totally let you, try your hand at umpiring. You'll assist first for a while. But the more that you're present and the more that you're helping out and assisting, then the more you're going to learn, and pretty soon we'll let you start running things on your own. And that's a lot of fun. It's fun to come up with a scenario and see how everybody's doing. Yeah, if I can stay awake. Yeah, the roads do facilitate travel. Yeah, if you move across country, it's a lot slower. You can have your movement rate even halved. It just depends. It all depends. Yeah, and that's the thing. So you have a human umpire who applies the modifiers in real time. So there's not like a standard rule where we say, well, you're moving across country, so you have to move at 50% your speed. That's kind of a baseline, but we're allowed to fudge it, and we do. We fudge all the time. It's a little inconsistent. But the purpose of that is to mimic real life, because in real life, it's a little inconsistent. Maybe some of the terrain is muddy. Maybe it has tall grass or bushes or whatever. Maybe it's relatively flat and open. It's more like marching across a road. It just depends.
I've got my orders.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, let's go ahead and move all pieces. Go ahead and move them, and then we'll roll dice.
Okay. This artillery wants to move over terrain to get here.
Okay.
They can do that, right?
Yeah, they're going to be pushing the guns by hand. It's debatable whether or not we let them shoot. But if you want to pull them back a little bit, so they're not quite online, if he wants to shoot, they can shoot, but they're going to have to stop before they make that full movement. So what's more important, to get the guns firing or to get them on that line?
He wants to plug the gap, so I imagine shooting would be more important.
Right. So move them back just a little bit, a smidgen, if you will. Perfect. And then yeah, then they can fire.
Okay.
And
And then these guys are going to run back to the
they'll
wagons.
roll one die and take the result. Although they're actually within two or within one. Are they within a square?
Just about, yeah.
Then they would roll the two and take both. That's grape shot range, right? Just about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd almost just do one die, but whatever.
I mean,
Okay.
so they spent most of the turn rolling the guns, so I might even do take two, roll two, take lesser,
Yeah,
because they're
sure.
just firing off one at the end of the.
Right. Okay.
One thing of note, Marshall, is when I'm taking the. I know you don't do the screenshots, but I've been taking screenshots. You can punch me when I come over to America. But these lines are still here, so it's not,
Yeah, I don't
I don't
mind
know
you
if
guys. I don't mind you guys doing screenshots. I just share my screen each time. I just don't slow down to take the screenshot, save it, and hit send.
yeah,
It's the same
it
thing.
saves my bandwidth. You know, Marshall the second, hamster, is trying to get up to speed on the old internet wheel, but
Love it.
I need to do the screenshots because otherwise my computer might start to freak out if I
I am not
share
gonna
the screen.
tell if Gordon Ramsay comes to my house and goes into my kitchen. I'm not gonna tell him how to cook a steak. So you do it how you want to do it. That's just fine.
I'm just
How are
saying
we gonna track?
these lines are in first. That's all.
How are we gonna track recovery?
You just once a unit spends a turn idle, not moving or doing anything, then he recovers one step. You'll notice the artillery recovered a
So
step
for a breaking
last
unit.
turn. Yeah, so you'll just recover him one step.
No for
So
them.
he'll go to the white level after on the next turn. He just
Okay.
moved here this turn. He feels safe, let's say, behind the
Yeah.
wagons. So if he stays there and does not move and does not participate, he will recover one step of disruption.
Okay.
All right, so decide on the relevant combats and roll them.
Can I let you do these again while I look after my little old lady?
Okay, no problem.
Uh,
I think Carter has them. Carter's
Oh,
got it.
okay. Oh, that's the man.
Yeah, he's gonna roll them, and that's fine.
okay.
I'm fine taking my break, letting you guys roll a turn or two. I want First Division to get into action before we call it. And I am curious if it will turn out to be a big Russian victory. We'll see. The dice have something to say.
All right. Then. No. No. It's not what I wanted to happen. Why? This. I don't know why, but this map just like the pieces don't want to stay still.
Yeah, it's a little wonky. There's something going on with it. We might have to create a whole new module. But whatever.
Um. Okay, and then salmon. That's not a green dye.
It's coral.
Ah. See, I just call it like prep school sweater, and then
Right?
I leave it at that.
Right? Supposed to be
Um.
orange. There's nothing orange about that dye.
Yeah. Nothing. I'll just call it the Eliakim P. Scammon Division color, because he's the guy who is in charge of the Kanawha Division at Antietam.
There you
It's just a
go.
great name. Oh, Oh, they're getting shot at by these guys.
Yep.
Oh, so these guys aren't actually going to throw their die at him. They're going to
Yeah.
throw their die at him.
Yep. So they're gonna get. I don't know if that's gonna be in melee range. The green die there. I
That
don't think.
is 1 point. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Let's do this.
All right. So viewers know melee dice don't always mean that they close to bayonet and stab each other. It means that they're just really close.
Dang, that was a no hit.
Yeah, it's a miss.
Okay, 5.
All right.
There we go. And that was a freaking
It's a
disruption.
1 disrupt. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I hate this map. Frustrates me to no end. Okay. All right. And these are all applied on the thing. So that's 1 level, 2, 3. Okay. And then this is another disrupt, and that is a hit, which would change them to
In case.
4. Wait, no, 5.
No,
Oh.
they would go to because every 5 is the next block down. Yeah.
So they're 8.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. You got it.
And then
They take a disrupt as well.
yep.
Okay.
And then no advantage.
Right.
These guys get disrupted. This guy gets disrupted to yellow. This guy gets disrupted to yellow as well.
Right.
And now they are all out of ammo.
And what about right here? Was there a
Oh,
hit
yeah.
thrown?
So that's breaking, and that would take him down to like 9.
Why is he breaking?
Oh, because he got hit. He
It
got
does-
disrupted again.
He only got
So
disrupted.
he was on white, and then he got hit, which incurs a disruption.
He was on white already? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So is
Yeah,
there?
he needs to go. All right. So yeah, he's breaking. Okay. And then yeah, adjust the ammo states.
Yep, I just did for that guy. This guy needs to go to state 5.
I'm back. Do you want me to do the ammo states on the green?
Yeah, sure. And then this guy.
Got
needs
no
to go
idea
to
how
5.
to do it yet, but
You just go down 1 notch, one level, because none of them took hits, I don't think. Or wait, the yellow one did.
oh,
I already
okay,
incurred
okay.
the hit.
Okay, and so he has
Well.
to go down 1 ammo state still, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he'll
I
go
can
to
do that.
9. He'll go to 9.
5,
Okay,
8, and he's 9. Yep. Okay, I did
Okay.
the other 2.
okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right,
And then
now.
you've got the artillery. You've got artillery across the way still firing.
Oh yeah. Let
All right.
me
And what
pull
they
that.
what he actually asked for was for if he could hit the troops coming across the bridge, he would hit the troops
One
coming across the
disrupt.
bridge
All
on
right.
the first division.
Oh, okay. So he wouldn't be firing at them then. Okay. All right. Let me.
No.
Roll. So I just rolled
If-
for
if
it
he-
already.
if
So
he
it was a
could-
1 level of
Yeah.
disruption. So this guy gets disrupted 1.
Okay.
So
Turn this around to reflect
what the heck?
the fact that he's turned his gun.
Okay. All right.
There's the
There
smoke.
we go.
I'm not using smoke today.
All right.
This
And
is-
then this artillery is going to fire. How many does he roll? He's 1.0 range.
See, he'd roll 1 and take the result.
Okay. Disrupt.
Get a little bit of smoke in there for the YouTubes,
Oh yeah.
for the community.
All right.
Let's get rid of all this dice.
Yeah, 2nd Division is in some trouble.
What you cuties up to?
Yeah, 2nd Division is out of ammo.
Oh, y'all are in the middle of it. Okay.
That was Lord Hugs came through. Come back, Lord Hugs. You can be here.
Okay. That's that.
Okay.
Should be everything. I'm going to delete the lines.
All right, go ahead and deliver reports and let guys know that, especially about ammo states.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, 840.
Sorry, gents. I've been working for a bit.
No worries. Good to see you here.
What's the server under? Because I had a lot of issues with my computer this morning.
Oh, I have it under Imperial Struggle because I didn't update the name from a game I was playing with a buddy. But it's Imperial Struggle,
Okay.
and then our standard password if you know it.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So right now, both umpires are giving reports to the players. The French are in a lot of trouble, but they are crossing some reinforcements. But yeah, the French are in some trouble. And I'll give you a promote once you load in, just because I'm a nice guy like that.
And because you wouldn't deny free help if it shows up.
Right? And yeah, we're using the 15-step blocks. Technically, they're 20-step for artillery, but really it's 15 steps for the infantry, meaning there are 15 different states. Well, they're called 15 state blocks.
Yeah, this is the one where I think I was on that initial playtest with you
Hmm.
on this one last week.
And so after this, now the next order of business is to get the cavalry sorted out. So I'll have to build some cavalry blocks. And then after that, we probably need to make infantry blocks of different qualities. But that shouldn't be too crazy hard. So, and then I can make different colors and all of that. But I'm just kind of working on it a little bit here and there. I'm not doing it all at one time. It's too much.
Oh yeah. Or you could do like I'm doing for a game that I will have starting next month roughly. And the players volunteered to make their own pieces.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't know if our players are going to volunteer to make their own pieces, but that would be kind of cool. Because then they could kind of add their own little flair or flavor to them. And I would like to number these pieces at some point. You know, even if, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, or something like that, but whatever.
Well, thinking to quality, you could always do them like John's hidden quality pieces.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's useful to have them numbered, but right now I'm giving everybody just one brigade. So we're at a more true to Kriegsspiel tactical level.
Yep.
And then the turns are moving in 5-minute increments, so it's still, more than double 2-minute increments, but it's a heck of a lot better than moving at 15 or 20-minute increments, which is what we've done historically. So now we're playing more true to the original Kriegsspiel. Smaller battles, smaller time increments, a little bit more detail, but I think it's paying off.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed the one that we ran last week. That was good. Wow. Well, the Russians have certainly put the French in an interesting tactical predicament.
Yeah, I'm afraid the French sort of. Well, yeah, the Russians had a lot to do with it, but the French kind of walked into it, obliged them. And they. Cyrus was opposite the creek when he saw the Russians up there and still chose to go occupy that low ground position, which hasn't really proved to be that decisive for the Russians. Um, you know,
However, the the French are now at a point where they're going to have to do a bayonet charge or withdraw.
exactly. They're out of ammo. They have to make a tough choice now, and if they choose wrong, or however the dice go. But yeah, this is a tough choice. This is a very important turn for Cyrus, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Now he can resupply those units pretty quickly, but they're going to take a round where they don't fire. They don't resupply just instantly. So, of course, that's something we have to talk about. Do we let them fire while they resupply, or do we say, no, you have to pause for 5 minutes to resupply? And
Hmm.
I think making them pause contributes more to the ebb and the flow, but is that realistic? And I don't know what the drill is for ammo replenishment. I have no
Well,
idea.
and it looks like the actual umpires are back, so I'll save
Yeah,
that
I'm
for
back.
when they dip off to do their thing again.
Yeah. All
Hello, Holly.
right.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
So he wants this brigade or this regiment to move to the left of his line once it's recovered. I've already moved it back in terms of ammo states. I've just let it recover the ammo since it's back at the wagons.
Right.
Um,
Okay, and yeah, each pip on the wagon is 4 pips of ammunition, and then if you have
right.
something odd left over, round it up or down. Just round it one way or the other.
Yeah, yeah. It was at 0, so
Okay,
it's
so
it is
he's
now
got
at
his.
1.
Yeah, he's okay. Perfect.
So it's got it's full ammo, but it's only going to recover 1 level of disruption this turn, so it's going to be at white level of disruption
Right.
when it sets up here.
Okay.
Um, this guy is breaking, but he can only move 1 in a turn, so he's going to get like there.
Yeah, units are usually running. They can move a little faster.
Okay, so I'll
Basically, they're
move him
double
like
quicked.
there.
Yeah.
Then
Although
these
when
guys,
they're breaking, they don't take orders.
right? I mean, they're going to run back to the supply wagons anyway.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't want
Um,
them to have control over breaking units.
yep.
That's the penalty for allowing your unit to be broken. Okay, so
And
these guys
then,
are out of ammo.
yep. So they're told to hold their position. Um, don't know why that's there. And
Hold their
so
position. And what? Just what are we? Is it a firing squad now? They're being executed by the Russians at point blank range. They're holding their position.
essentially, um,
And are they at least resupplying?
basically, so this unit of supply wagons is supposed to go and resupply them.
Okay, that's fine. All right, that's just insane, but
Well, it's come at an opportune time for them because the Russians are actually realising that their supplies are also running low, so they're actually going to move back
oh,
up the
thank
hill.
goodness. Yeah, I thought they were either going to have to go in with the bayonet or retreat. Wow. See, this is why we use this system now. This is why I'm using it because you get these ebbs and flows in the battle that you might not normally get. In a normal
But
game, they're just going to push blocks together and ha ha. Now they have to
the
think
rest
a
fight
little bit.
isn't over because these guys are now moving up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm pretty pleased with this then. I'm very pleased. And I think Cyrus got a little lucky that the Russians pulled back, though, because they would have been throwing dice at him for free.
And then he's moving his Russian infantry across the other side of the bridge up
Honestly,
to
if
get
I
in.
were Cyrus's guys, like if I were the regiment commander, I'd be pulling back, like refusing the line to the artillery.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, at a minimum, but yeah, you got to get them resupplied.
So this supply train is going to move over here,
Yeah,
and
I
they'll
think it's
spend this
fine.
turn
Yeah, yeah,
resupplying this guy.
yeah. They're not firing, so just
So they're resupplied now, and
okay.
they'll probably recover another level of disruption, right?
Yes,
And
they
still not
would.
doing anything. All right.
Yeah, even though there's a little bit of motion, I'm okay with allowing that.
I don't think these guys actually moved. It's these guys that moved. So
Yeah, even then, I'm like,
okay.
they didn't move that
Uh,
much. It's like they changed facing more than they moved position.
hmm Okay. And then this artillery will probably open fire on these guys this turn. I would imagine it's probably going to turn, see the new threat.
Yep.
Um, and then these guys are just outside of musket range.
They wanted to go into musket range, so
They
I
can't move
conform
that
with
far.
them.
Like
Okay.
they just actually aren't able to move that far.
Okay. Okay.
Especially overground deployed.
No
I would say
worries.
probably not. Though I'm not the one. I'm not the chief here. Um,
What's the
then
question? Is there a question?
so the Russians started like here, with only half of their unit deployed,
Uh-huh.
and the question is whether or not they can advance all the way into musket range.
Well, they are in
It's only
musket
one,
range, but they're at
two
kind of long
squares.
range. So I would take the unit that was already online and let him throw a die.
So that guy, right?
Yeah,
Or
let him throw a die. Split the difference. Yeah, there you go. Let him throw
okay.
a die, and that's pretty fair. He's been
And what he
working
should
on
have
that
got the
for a while,
artillery.
so well, that's up to you unless he specified otherwise. Who's the
Because they
threat to
don't
him?
know that these guys are out of ammo. They just see that they're not shooting. Um, so I'd say probably at the artillery, since that's what's shooting at them.
Mm-hmm.
And the artillery rolls. What are we gonna say?
One
Dice,
black
two
die.
dice.
One
Okay,
black die. Take the
one
result.
black die. Okay.
Any
The
closer than
artillery
it's
is
two
disrupted.
black die and take both.
All right. So let's just go ahead and roll that then.
Ooh.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, man. They both took very careful aim and then fired at the same time. Well, there you have
Yep.
it, folks. Okay,
So
so,
that's now 7,
right? You
right?
got it?
But actually they're down to 8 because they just spent some of their ammo.
Uh-huh.
And this
Okay.
guy's down to what? Does
He's
he lose? Does he even lose guns? Depending
Yes.
on the.
Yeah, he took a
Okay.
hit. That's what that
Yep.
means.
So, all right. So then he is down to 9.
There we go. All right. He lost a gun. Okay.
Marshall,
Yes.
what's the starting state for the artillery? Is it red as well?
Yes, it's always red. We really only tweak the number of dice we roll or how we apply the result for artillery, which I have issues with how we do it because it's really wildly different from how we do infantry. Disruption doesn't mean anything, and losing guns doesn't seem to affect it. So, what do
What I
you
always
do?
do is when it's disrupted, I just roll the whatever the disruption level die is.
Huh.
But
Yeah, but that wasn't intended for artillery. So, what we need is we need to
create artillery die. Yeah.
yeah, we need an artillery die, and then we need to track the disruption state. Or really, the big thing is as they lose guns, they're putting out less fire.
Yeah.
So one of the ways you can track that or handle it, a solution, in other words, is you rotate the die. It's a DRM of -1 with each gun that's lost.
Mhm.
So
All the
it's
dice,
not
yeah.
it's not
Yeah,
that
so we
he's
could
not.
just create artillery die for each level of how many guns you have, and
You
then
you could, or again, just apply a DRM.
yeah, and then as for here in the south,
Hmm.
it appears that these guys are now closing to range.
Okay, yeah, roll it, make it happen.
Should the artillery fire 2 or 1?
One.
Okay.
There's still more than a square away, slightly.
All right. All right. Let me just put that there. Okay. And so that goes down to
The Russians
7.
took a hit.
This guy goes down just another state. I hate. Eesh. This guy gets disrupted. So does the artillery. No advantage.
All right, give them their reports.
And you've got this artillery as well. And you've got the infantry hasn't moved across the creek yet either.
Yeah, I've got to move still, these guys. So they're moving like there.
So we're doing 1 dice. Pick 2 dice, pick the lesser for this artillery
I'd say
fire.
so.
At long range, yes. Yep. It's a miss.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll just tell them that there's cannonballs coming in. All right. Now we're good to give reports, I believe.
Yeah. All right. Go for it. All right. I'll
right.
check the YouTube. Artillery would take longer to resupply ammo than infantry would, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is an area where I'm a little ignorant. And then we have to figure out, is it significant? Is it just a couple minutes longer, or is it 10 minutes, 15 minutes longer? That's significant. And I have a friend who's really into Civil War reenacting who has a lot of experience and knowledge. Like, he's memorized the manuals and stuff. And I probably need to ask him about this, because that would kind of give us a baseline. Even though this is Napoleonic, I'm sure it would give us a kind of a baseline that we could use. Even though his knowledge is Civil War. And if anybody out there has expertise on any of this stuff, feel free to chime in and please clue us in. Maps. We do have maps on the website Kriegsspiel.org, and again, that link is at the top of the comments, and it's under our resources link. And we do have some pretty good resources, and I think we have more we need to add. Library of Congress has some good maps that you can go through for Civil War stuff. So yeah, there are a number of map resources out there. But really, just come grab our modules. We have a bunch of maps in our modules. Just grab our modules. They're on Tabletop Simulator. That's what I would recommend.
Marshall, I would say for the purposes of ammo resupply, a battalion or regiment of infantry and an artillery battery is going to be roughly the same.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we've been treating it. So
it's a lot faster to dump 40 rounds into one cartridge box versus filling up a caisson chest. However, you're only dealing with 4 or 5 caisson chests, and you have manpower specifically for the purposes of bringing the rounds to the guns, so they can be used to bring rounds to the caisson. So whereas with infantry, what you would do is you would send probably junior NCOs if you didn't have other file closers. You would send those to the rear to order up and help bring up cases of ammo, and then it would be rotated through the platoons piece by piece.
Okay. Well, there you go.
You could resupply in the line, but typically you would resupply part of the unit behind the line and then rotate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and the men need
Which
a
is
break.
why
The men need a break too.
exactly, and that's why and they also at that point you're looking at 40 rounds through a musket. Even in my reenacting days, you put 40 rounds, 40, 50 rounds through a rifle musket, it's filthy and it's misfiring every third or fourth shot. And that's where we've gone in and drilled the actual percussion nipple out so that it's more reliable.
Wow.
Firing through the sort of percussion nipple that you need on a percussion lock to fire live rounds. By the time you hit 40 rounds, you need to clean it or replace that.
Wow. Yeah, it's just a little nipple. It's a little hole, right?
So the primary difference between your flint locks and your percussion locks, it's the nipple itself, and it's a simple screw in sort of piece.
Mm-hmm.
Every soldier might have had the tool to screw it out,
Mm-hmm.
or those might have been reserved for non-commissioned officers. It varies wildly depending on the army and the era.
Yeah.
But it's a simple replacement. It's kind of on the same level as the Prussians in the 1860s with their Dreisen needle rifles. I mean, it's just a matter of you need a couple minutes to swap them out,
Mm-hmm.
or you need a couple minutes to pour some hot water down the barrel, which will dissolve out all those deposits and shove them out. And
Mm.
they're very quick. We actually used coffee.
I have
Wow. Well, maybe then what we require is anytime you resupply, you absolutely have to take one turn off out of action. You know,
And I would agree with that. I would
yeah,
agree with that
yeah.
for artillery or for infantry because you're rotating that battalion out of the line. You're regaining some organization. Your file closers, your junior NCOs are doing things like weapons maintenance, getting guns back online that may have gone down during the fighting, and you're also shoving 40 rounds into each cartridge box.
Okay, but what
It's
about
it's
a
a much more involved evolution than simply here's some
right?
more bullets, go shoot them.
But what about a situation where these units are not being rotated? Now they are being pulled back, but there's actually no rotation taking place. So that's something we also need to think about. You know.
Well, for this battalion, these battalions over here where my cursor's sitting,
Mm-hmm.
those I would consider to be rotated because they're
Uh-huh.
not being fired at. They're getting that break. This battalion over here, I wouldn't necessarily even if he's being resupplied, I wouldn't consider him to be rotated out of the line
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because there's still an
that's
imminent contact.
yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking about, and that's has me scratching my head here how to handle that. And maybe it's fine the way we've handled it here, but stuff to think about. Are the umpires back?
One is
I
back.
I am, but Peter's not back.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of simple ways to implement the cavalry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
I'm ready.
something. Yeah, we still have to make those pieces. Okay, let's go ahead and process the order. So move pieces and then execute firing.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta talk to Cyrus. I just forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna. I think I've not been taking the states off of this artillery across the creek here, which I think they're actually probably out of ammunition now. So, what number should I put them to be out of ammo?
Oh, 4 or 5.
Okay.
Make it 5. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 is out of ammo.
Alright. So we'll just take
Alright.
that off.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have to solve this supply thing because Cyrus wants to resupply the men that are currently being engaged by the Russians. So his supply wagons are gonna at least move over there. It's up to you guys whether or not we want to resupply them.
Well, they can supply under fire, but they're going to take a hit without returning fire. They're just going to get shot at. I would even go so far as to give them double disruption if for any disrupt hit. I would increase the disruption by at least another step.
Okay, so basically, we're gonna resupply them. Yes,
Yeah,
it's just the disruption
is
will
going
go
to
be double.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And
So
they
I've
don't
just supplied
and they
them,
don't get to shoot back.
and they don't get to shoot back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And that doesn't mean
So-
like they're not shooting back. It means that there's not a significant number of men able to, provide any kind of coherent armed response.
Yep.
So, just so people know,
Alright.
everything's kind of abstracted here. So they're not just standing there straight being executed, but they are. If you don't have ammo, you can't shoot.
All right. So these guys, upon first enemy contact, were ordered to form into lines. So that's what they'll do. And these guys were ordered to wait and see. Okay. All right. So that's blue all moved.
And did Green ever resupply? The Russians up north, or not yet?
No, the Russians haven't resupplied yet, but they're about to resupply. They've brought their baggage train up a little bit to get in behind their infantry and all that bit. They didn't actually ask to resupply his artillery, just to recover them. So that's why they're still on the 2 hips.
Okay.
So.
All right. So I'm ready to start resolving combat now.
All right, let's do it. I think all the green stuff's moved, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
The Russians are now within 1 grid, or just at 1 grid from the artillery.
Okay. Well.
So I think they'll be able to fire canister now.
Oh yes. So that's 2 black dice. Supply both.
Yep. I'll fire them on
I
the
would
leftmost
say that the Russians probably would have kept their discretion. They would have stayed at effective musket fire.
Well, then they should probably move back then.
They'd be back just a
hair, yep. Like that.
Yeah. Sorry about that, but I think I wouldn't want them to.
Yep. That's okay. Alrighty. So then the Russians are going to fire 1 salmon at the artillery and 1 red at the infantry. With no
1
infantry
salmon
firing.
and 1 herring.
Yes. A red herring. Let's.
He got it.
That's gonna be everything. Wait, no. And then it's down here. Artillery is firing 1, and then the other guys are all firing 1 as well.
And the other green artillery is also going to
That is
open
correct.
fire.
Yep.
So they're fire upon the artillery. Do you think?
I think they're gonna fire. Well, okay. So they were ordered to support the troops crossing the bridge. Is that right?
Oh, sorry, I'm not talking
No,
about that. Yeah,
the
they're firing upon the troops that are crossing the bridge, so they will continue that fire. But
So
they
they're
run out of
firing here.
ammunition. So they haven't got any ammunition anyway now.
Oh,
so
they
they're out
haven't.
of
Yeah.
ammunition.
Okay. All right. That
So
doesn't
it's
matter.
just these guys.
So this
would they
artillery.
fire upon the artillery or the infantry?
Heinz, you're the battery commander. Infantry or artillery?
I'm going to say, when in doubt, default to artillery. When in doubt,
Okay.
shoot your own.
All right. That's what they'll do. And that seems reasonable to everyone. Let's get this.
That's funny. I'm the opposite. I always prefer the infantry.
Well,
That-
that's why I asked Heinz.
Yeah. Yeah. You wanted the correct answer, huh?
um.
I want a
Okay.
right answer. So
All right. So they're gonna go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the next state, right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. And then they're also going to use one of their ammos. So that happens. Whoa. And they're gonna take a disruption because of that.
So that's their second hit. They're at the minimum block
Yep.
size.
They
One
have
more hit and
one-
they're eliminated.
They have 1 state of ammo left.
4th Battalion is eliminated.
Yeah. But the artillery has also taken another hit, so they go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. Right? So that gives them only 2 guns. Yep. And now they are out of ammo. What? Oh. And I see that you've got like a no symbol like next to the freaking. That's funny.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought like from you can barely. It's only when you're mostly at the most zoomed in state that you can actually see the red line going through. So you might want to.
I might have to
what
change
that
that,
is.
huh?
Yeah, because especially on the green dice, it's just blank, right? I
Yeah.
think that's probably the way to do it.
And so
And
on the
this guy
blue one,
gets
I have a.
disrupted again.
Oh yeah.
So he's breaking through the white.
And
Did you say it was double disruption?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, so he's routing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this guy recovers a disruption because he was there.
I can't believe they didn't want to stand there and get shot.
I know, right? That's freaking crazy.
They were they were about to get
cowards?
fresh ammo.
Cowards.
Unbelievable.
And
Alright.
Marshall, just kind of looking at that artillery, they ran out of ammo, lost a gun, and the infantry beside them just shattered and ran.
Yeah, I'd pull
I'm
them out.
not thinking they're standing there.
Yeah, pull them out. Pull them out. Yeah, make them run. That's fine. That again.
Routing or no, they are moving.
Yeah, Kriegsspiel's the land of fudge. So, create problems. Let them solve the problems. It's painful for the players, but it's also part of the challenge.
All right. These guys get shuffled down to the next state of ammo. These guys also get shuffled down to the next state of ammo. And that should be everything resolved? Yes. Okay. I think blue is all set. Ready and rearing to go.
Yeah, I think green's good.
All right, let's delete these lines and send the reports.
Okay.
Thankfully, my generals are together, so they're going to get the same screenshot. Yay!
There you go.
Um,
Yeah, I want First Division to have a few rounds in combat before we call it. But did the Russians still haven't resupplied yet?
I think they're going to
Not yet, but they will do. They will do this
Yeah.
turn.
Once they're resupplied, they can push in, and they should do it. Don't forget to recover units though that are out of action.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, perfect.
So, it's 850, is it?
I was going to say, Peter, the Russians would have resupplied these battalions over here, correct? During
Not
that
too-
last
Yeah,
combat
because
round.
the baggage train has only just turned up there in this turn.
Gotcha.
The baggage train
Got it.
came up to them, so they'll resupply this one.
Okay.
So
Apart from that, you're spot on.
all right. All right. Let them know the news.
Yeah, Marshall, that's one thing that I've been looking at myself with for games that I run is when you have these lone artillery batteries out by themselves taking effective fire and their infantry support has just run.
Uh huh. Yeah, I've done
They're,
that before, and again, I think that's an umpire discretion thing. There's no rule about it. I would just do it. In the SoCal system, I always impose some kind of a penalty. If the unit next to you flees, that's gonna make you inclined to flee. On the other hand, if there is a unit and they're holding fast next to you, you're more likely to hold your position. You know.
yeah,
So yeah, peer pressure, I
yeah.
guess.
Well, and in this particular game, everything's red, so really high quality units might stand on their own for a bit, but I agree. Low quality units or artillery batteries that are taking rifle fire, well,
Mm-hmm.
musket fire in this case. There's no way they're going to stand and take that if they don't have ammo to reply and they don't have infantry because they know what's coming next.
Right. This is why being an umpire matters, you know, and having that experience to run these games and having the eye to spot something like that and say, you know what, let's tweak the outcome in this way. You know, let's let's say, you know what, this unit routes. So, and that's the beauty of it. And that's also why we're always reluctant to tell players what the rules are because yeah, there's rules, but the rules are more like guidelines. And really it's the umpire because this is free Kriegsspiel is the base game, and then we've imposed these rule sets on top of a free Kriegsspiel to remove some of the subjectivity to make it more objective, but it's not going to be 100% objective either, because if you want 100% objectivity, go play a hex and counter war game, you know, where the rules are what the rules are and that's it. But Kriegsspiel is fun precisely because it isn't entirely objective and you don't know what all the objective rules are or even the subjective rules. And um, I just think it's an experience you can't get any other way, and it's much closer to reality than anything you would get playing like Hex and Counter, you know. So
Well, and in hex and counter war games, you don't have such things drop in your lap like the umpire decides that, hey, I'm going to enforce weather effects
mm-hmm. Yeah.
because I've got a game my upcoming game. Nobody's bothered to ask about what's the weather like today.
Uh-huh. There's always an assumption that it's a clear sunny day.
Well, and some of that's because yeah, when we're running games with newer players or we're running the Saturday game that needs to move at a
Mm-hmm.
certain clip in order to get it done, we tend to always presume at least decent visibility. But
Yeah.
some battles were fought in awful weather because Chantilly was fought in a thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the more famous ones. There's actually inclinations there may have been a tornado at Chantilly during the battle.
Wow. Wow.
But but a good part of that battle was fought in a summer thunderstorm. So they were done, and that's obviously in the age of paper cartridges and black powder. That's rather important.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Achilles says I don't like wasting ammo on counter battery. And for me, I see the sense of counter battery, right? You score a couple hits on an enemy artillery battery and they're out of action. The problem is, at least in the existing system, the way it works now, you score a hit on a battery. Yes, it knocks out a gun, but the battery still throws the same dice back at you. So you'd have to get two hits, two turns in a row to quickly and efficiently kind of clear that artillery battery off the map. Really, you'd have to get at like three or four. Um, and that's very, very hard to do. So for me, I would rather have the disruption on the infantry or even a hit on the infantry because a hit stays, a hit can't be recovered, but a disruption can be, but the disruption can prove decisive. So it's not as fun for me, Achilles, as firing on counter battery, but I think it is more effective to prefer infantry over the artillery. So that's my take on it. That's why I do it that way. And again, I think that's kind of uh, not really a hole, but it's something in our system that we need to take a harder look at and refine. Because it shouldn't be that way. If you score a counter battery hit, that should erode the enemy effectiveness. And right now the way it is, the first counter battery hit or two, which can be as much as 2 turns, doesn't really do much. So it's like you're
Well,
a sponge, and it shouldn't be like that.
well, and Marshall, now that you're switching to a 5 minute system for some of this, I think under a 5 minute rule set, you could add a rule that if an artillery battery takes a hit, that the crew disruption is to the point where that battery will not fire in the next turn. They can either stay there or withdraw, but they won't fire for that 5 minutes while they're sorting out all the dead, wounded, and splinters flying around.
That's kind of cool. And
Under
that
a 20 minute, under the old 20 minute system, that wouldn't be reasonable because in 20 minutes they'd recover from having wagon wheel go cartwheeling through half their crew, panicked horses, and all the other mess of taking effective artillery fire.
hmm That's an idea.
But in
We should post that on the Discord and see what people think about that.
I think we got our umpires back now.
All right, let's go ahead and. Did the Russians finally resupply?
They're going to do that this turn, I reckon.
Yes.
I am waiting. They're hungry. They want a sandwich or whatever Russian soldiers ate. Crackers. I don't know. What did they eat at that time?
Like a loaf of bread.
I
maybe
guess
a little bit of water. They were not very well fed. Let's just say that.
Really? That's terrible.
The other countries kind of admired them for that, in that they were basically just constantly getting maltreated, but yet we're still, able to put up a decent fight.
Well, they probably suffered horrible punishments if they.
Yeah. So this might be a good time to call the game because the French are retreating behind this creek here. The whole French army is withdrawing.
Well, my only issue is I wanted first division to get a
would
little
have gotten
bit more
in combat, but the Russians are pulling back, and Peter, I don't think these guys can move and resupply at the same time.
Oh, they can't. Oh. There you go.
I think that was the ruling earlier.
Yep. They can only resupply and then they can move.
Mi dispiace.
Okay, well, if we call it, I would like a consensus with Peter. I can go either way on this. Peter, what's your thinking? Do you think the guys will be terribly disappointed if we call it? And I don't know what the French order here is, by the way. What's the French order right here?
That's withdrawing. They're moving back across the river.
Oh, in that case, you can call it, I think.
Okay. All right, then let's go ahead and bring them in to the big room, and we will
clear those lines.
We will talk about what happened.
Shall I clear the lines?
Yeah, let's clear the lines. Or do you want to resolve this turn and then bring them in here?
Does it matter? I mean, what's firing?
Nothing, I suppose.
Yeah,
there's this combat down here
at the bridge, but yeah.
I'll just quickly do that right now.
It looks like those Russian units took a couple hits.
They did.
Wow.
The French are doing pretty well down there.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and roll that and see. Maybe, I think if they take another hit, we can, call it even situation where the French would eventually capture that bridge. And there it is. Wow, they all took hits. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This unit's destroyed.
Not quite.
He took a hit.
He was on state 2. I already lowered his state.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So he was on the second level of hit, and then, or
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
the first
yeah.
level of hit, and then
I got
yep.
it. Okay.
And then this guy loses a gun, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because he loses on more
Okay.
ammo. All right, now he's out of ammo and without a gun, but he can resupply with these guys right behind him next turn. This guy doesn't take a hit, no advantage here, so they just get one more level of ammo out of there. These supply wagons turn around. They
Hey,
turn around and march back.
Oh,
Uh,
let-
Hello.
it's time
Hello.
for grief.
Okay, I think everyone's here.
okay.
Now that
All
we've
right.
got them where we want, Marshall, can we send in the Spartans?
Yes, absolutely. I'll share my
Space
screen with
Marines.
everyone so you guys can see.
Okay.
The French are pulling back from that treacherous position just north of the creek, which is a position I don't feel they ever should have taken or occupied. But they did, to their credit, they were very brave in doing it, and they actually performed better than I expected. But ultimately, the extra Russian units and the Russians finally resupplying, I think that would be pretty telling. So the French are using the lull in the action to withdraw, which is an excellent decision. It is a well timed decision. So that's a point for making the decision of, hey, maybe I got in over my head. Let's get out before it gets too deep. And that is to Cyrus's credit. I think that was an excellent. That's really good. I think Cyrus played very well. I'm very pleased with Cyrus how he played, even though his initial decision to cross the creek and occupy low ground in the face of a superior enemy was a mistake.
To be
Um,
fair, sorry.
I think you did all right. I really do. This is one of those things where the fog of war messes with your mind, and you're like, well, maybe I can do this. Let's go ahead and roll the dice. But from the umpire perspective, it was like, no, don't do that. But then
Yeah.
you had good die rolls. In fact, you had local superiority because the Russians didn't have all their units online firing against you. You even had a flank advantage. You drove off their battery temporarily, and so I was pretty proud of that. And then you decided, okay, let's get out. Now we're kind of, getting in too deep. There's more reinforcements coming. We're being fired on from across the river. Let's get out. And I think that was good timing. Likewise, I really like the French decision to cross the creek and support you, which could have proved decisive if they had gotten there sooner, but they took a long route, and again, they didn't have a choice over that route. So it's just geography, I think, did more to defeat the French today than anything. That I think the French may have had a slightly longer slog to their objective, and the Russians also double quicked to get across this bridge down here at 110. The French were doing a really good job beating up the Russians across the way as well. And the Russians had no reserve. So I don't know that the Russians would have held that bridge ultimately in the end. So um, it's still certainly a Russian tactical victory, I think. I don't know if the French would have held that bridge long term. This is really a question that would be answered in the backstory of the battle. Maybe the main French army is behind this advance force, in which case they would certainly carry the bridge and move across. But I don't know that the French necessarily accomplished their primary objective. They certainly didn't accomplish the objective of taking control of both bridges, and it's debatable how well they would have taken control of the second bridge, or their bridge that's closest to them. The Russians, on the other hand, I think had it a little easier. They had a shorter march to objective. They took their first objective. They didn't sit on it. They very wisely said, okay, we have this now. Let's together push down to the second objective. I think a big danger is sometimes guys will get there and say, well, I'll hold this, you go do the rest of the work. And instead they move down to support each other. I like, even though I don't know if we should have allowed it, but I do like the way that 3rd Brigade sent reinforcements to 4th Brigade. Now, I probably would not have allowed that, but all things being equal, it was a good decision to loan the units to 4th Brigade and do what they did. So the Russians did really, really well. They did a good job maximizing their firepower on a local level, and they did a good job taking up position opposite the bridge and just saying, we're just going to hold this. I really like how 3rd Division employed their artillery. That was really, really good right here to support the attack. And I like I like how both units on the left pulled back, resupplied. I really think the supply situation proved decisive. And I'm interested in your guys' thoughts on the supply situation, if that just made you miserable or if you felt it enhanced the game in any way. Before I go to the players, I want to ask Peter, as the senior lead umpire here. Peter, what were your thoughts, please?
Okay, so obviously me and Carter took it in turns to umpire both the French and the Russians because Carter had to get 5 guys and I had to have a tomato soup. But that's why we had to switch around a little bit at times. But no, it was just so everyone knows, it was quite an amusing moment with the French initially, as I said to them that their primary objective was to stay right where they were and just watch the Russians walk all over the field for 4 hours and enjoy that. But they decided to take the secondary lesser objective, which was actually to try and have a proper battle. And yeah, I think it went really well. I liked the supply situation. Once we knew how it all worked and how we'd move the states, it seemed quite effective. And yeah, I think everyone played their part in the battle. So yeah, well done to everyone there. No one come out looking too shitty. Basically, we're allowed to say that on YouTube. So yeah, all good.
Okay. All right, Carter, what do you have to say, man? How was your burger that you abandoned us to go get? I hope it was a tasty burger.
I wasn't going to Five Guys. I went to grab some brunch, but
oh, you
it was
went to
good.
brunch. Oh boy. Okay,
yes,
mine.
I know. It's it was
Yes.
very tasty.
Another mimosa, please. All right, go
Yes.
ahead.
Yes, could you please pass the salt? No, so
Have
I
you
think
any
all the
Grey
players-
Poupon?
Just another whiff of grape shot, please. So I think both players, or well, not both, but all 4, everyone played very well. I don't think that there were like any really bad decisions made, especially
Agreed.
considering the fog of war aspect.
Mhm.
From the umpire table, it's like, why would you do that? But when you're trying to put yourself in the mind of the player, you're like, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's just that the other players are also making orders that make more sense. But yeah, so I think everyone played really well. Definitely the geography, I think, benefited the Russians. And so the French found that out and decided that, the caution is the better form of valor, and so they decided to preemptively prevent the Russians from trying to crush them against the creek, which was a good decision. And I would say that everyone has something to write home about. I don't think anyone is going to be dishonored in this battle. So, yeah.
Good job. Okay, Cyrus, what were your thoughts, man?
What are my thoughts? Hills are not fun. I think just generally, I think the general analysis has been said that there's definitely a tactical advantage that the Russians had of the hill, and my thought process was that I was unaware that you could, or that the Russians had reinforced their brigade with units from the other brigade.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was assuming it was going 1-1, and if I was bold and aggressive up there, I could swing the day. with some hopeful good rolls. That was my thought process in all that. And then things start to go south, and I'm hearing good things about the way that things are looking over by the bridge. So I'm going to pull back, entice them into attack me now, and
Great
hopefully
thinking.
hold them off while they push across the bridge. Those are my thoughts.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's see. Who was your partner? Your partner was Alex.
Hey,
Alex,
it's
what's
me.
your take?
All right. Well, I was trying initially to do the thing where I just took the bridges as soon as possible, but as I started seeing, as my units started getting closer, I saw that well, I don't know. I saw that there weren't many forces across the bridge. It made me question how many forces my partner might have been going against and the pressing need. I thought if maybe they were up north on that other side, or if they were up the hill there, then it would have been a bad deal to engage them in a melee down there, or make an infantry assault immediately. So I was going to test the situation out, and if they came at me, then they'd be dealing with my cannons and infantry, etc. I finally made the decision to go support my ally there because I thought I had time on my side. It didn't seem like something that was that pressing to me uh, until I knew what I was getting into. Uh, as pulling back toward the creek, uh, I I was just planning on getting it over with at that bridge, but I mean, like say, we didn't we don't have time, so
Hmm.
yeah, I think that was yeah, that's my part. Is there anyone have any questions?
No, I think that was good. That was good.
Cool.
Yeah, good take. Okay, let's see here. Asher,
Yep.
which division did you command? Or which brigade,
Uh,
technically?
I was Free Brigade.
Okay. Yeah, alright.
Yep.
So how did it go for you?
Pretty good. I was pretty happy how that developed the whole way around. So I initially got to my bridge up the north, and obviously there was nothing on the open side. At that point, I wasn't really. I figured I could hold uh, that side of the bridge with lesser forces if I had to, and I could probably get down there in time. Given that we hadn't really seen anything or no dust signal, dust to our front or anything like that. I left two regiments up north, just south of the bridge, around that 171 point. And the intent there was I figured I'd commit them once we knew where the French had committed initially. And once I got messages from Ito that he was fully committed, I just sent him down there because I figured I could just do a spoiling attack across from the bridge, and that worked really well. And then we'd be able to defeat. If they wanted to keep pushing up that hill, we'd be able to defeat them in detail.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge situation at the moment, I was certainly getting the worst of it. At this point, I had planned to withdraw north up to my artillery battery. I was really just looking to see if I could push that artillery battery off. I made my poor baggage train move up and down,
Mm-hmm.
but they're on their way to resupply that artillery battery at the moment. So yeah, no, I was happy with how that played out.
Wonderful. Okay. And Ito, what do you have to say? What was your
So I
take?
have two major points. The first one, yes, we definitely had like a geographical advantage, tactical advantage on the French. We immediately identified the hill, the 178 hill, and the hills on the eastern bank of the river as a strategic position that we had to take, which we did. On the other hand, we had the disadvantage that we could not work by internal lines. That means we were not able to send reinforcement to each others if the situation was worse because we had a whole river in between us. So it was
Mhm.
kind of a calculated risk that we took doing
Mhm.
this. The second point is the two reserve regiments. I think that it could have easily happened that we both forgot about these two regiments. Because Asher sent me a dispatch saying, okay, I will leave two regiments in reserve at the northern bridge. So okay, fine. But I think it was not clear if I could use them or not, or if he was going to send them to his positions. So I think that was kind of a gray zone.
Mhm.
At a certain point, I just asked the Emperor, I think it was Peter, if I could like take them, order to them, come to my position, support my attack. And he said, yeah, we can do it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, I see it's a gray zone to say whether I'm able to do that or not, or should be allowed to
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah.
So I did send you a dispatch about that, but I did transfer them over to your command.
Mhm.
I never actually get the information like I can use them. I think the dispatch was like they're in reserve point. So
Yeah. For
I
me,
think the main,
the yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
I was going to say the main thing was that those regiments knew that they were being given over to you.
okay.
Mm.
So they, even though you didn't know they were going to be given over to you necessarily, they knew that they were going to be under your command, and
Mm.
that's why they moved the way they
I don't
did.
know if I'm just saying it could have easily happened that I say, okay, those are his regiments, I cannot use them. He was like thinking, okay, Edo will use
Mm.
them, and then
Yeah.
nobody used them, and then suddenly like we are missing two regiments, you know. It could have easily happened. It didn't,
Mm.
but
Well,
could have been
it's
a point.
very Russian tactics to kind of like create tactical reserves.
No,
Um,
definitely. I mean, everything went well. I'm just saying, could also happen that we both forget about these two regiments, like assuming the other one will use
Mm.
them. You know what I mean?
Mm. What
mm,
about the supply management situation? Did you guys?
I
Yeah. What was your thoughts on that?
I think that I feel a slight explanation just because I know this is the first time I used this system for it.
Mhm.
A slight explanation would have been helpful, but once I kind of figured out how precisely it worked, it makes a lot of sense and is uh, I think is enhances it a bit. I think it makes sense and enhances the game.
Mhm.
I agree.
definitely creates pregnant pauses. So, I mean, you could see from the way that the Northern attack developed that both sides had that engagement, but then there wasn't necessarily, you couldn't have a rapid follow up until you resupplied your line.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, you have to either work in tandem with the other brigade and let them pass through and take over while you resupply, or you have to fight in double line and then rotate your own units and resupply that way, or something. Otherwise, you end up in a situation where your whole brigade is committed and then they run out of ammo. Then you have to pull back, resupply, and then go back in. Of course, your opponent's dealing with the same things. But there would be a tremendous advantage for two brigades that team up. But then if you team up, that's less ground that you can cover. And it's always very tempting to try to spread out in a big long line and try to envelop those flanks. So I like it because it adds some tactical decision making and it creates a problem for both sides. It helps the battle to ebb and flow. And then if one person is winning but they haven't set aside a reserve to follow up, well, they're going to have to stop and sacrifice their inertia to resupply, which, again, it just creates interesting problems for the players to solve, which is why I like it. So that's me.
Marsh, I think it's a great addiction to the game, but probably on this small scale battles it doesn't shine because at the end, you know, the forces just clash,
Hmm.
and then it happens like now where both me and the French they just retreated to reorganize and then push again.
Hmm.
So probably on a large scale scenario, definitely shines.
Mhm.
Gives a
In a big battle, this seems like it would
Yeah.
be a really neat way to. The battlefield will be much more fluid than it has been in past battles.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, because you didn't really, if you had a third brigade, you know, a third player, or if both of you were commanding divisions and had two brigades, then I think it would be more relevant. At this level, it's hard to do those tactics I suggested because you don't have much choice but spread out. You know, so I understand. I think that's a point well taken. It's an excellent point. So that's interesting. But yeah, we need bigger games to really make it shine. Yep. All right. Well,
Well,
hey, go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry. I was going to say, Marshall, even on this level, we did run into the point where right after the French and Russian, well, the French had run all of their ammo out. The Russians still had a little bit left, but both made that decision at the same point to fall back and withdraw and
Right.
resupply.
Which
Where
had the Russians
it puts,
pushed, yeah.
or it puts you on that point where you have to decide as you're running out of ammo, am I going to fall back, or are we going, or do I think I'm going to win this and we're going to cold steel?
Right. Nah, very, very interesting. I like the problems that it creates, the decisions that have to be made. I like that. Yeah. Okay. Well, hey guys, I want to thank you all for being here and for participating. Um, I have not had anything to eat all day, so I have to get out of here and deal with that. But I do want to thank you all for being part of this, and I want to thank everybody who's watched the live stream. And again, come play. Tell your family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, parishioners, whoever it is that you know. Hey, come and check this out. It's a really cool, unique experience, and it's unlike anything that you've ever done before. So you'll be back for more for sure.
Absolutely.
And thanks for having us.
Thanks
Yep.
for
Yeah,
for
thanks
the
very
game.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
It was
Thank
a
Have
good
a
you,
good
game,
everyone.
stream.
Asher.
Have a good lunch.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks you too.
You got it. All right, everyone. Bye bye.